preparations, there's no time for hesitations. Compile a list of tips. Get some friends together, 'cause together it's far better. To get ready for the apocalypse.
Good morning, Wastelanders. I hope everybody is ready to die of radiation poisoning today. We are playing. I am Darren Jackson. I am the game master. Someone's holding up a finger.
I don't want to die of radiation poisoning.
That's
Death
not up to
didn't come
you.
up just yet.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing kind of Fallout, but not Fallout for legal reasons. Savage Worlds tonight.
Awesome. Looking forward to
So
it.
expect me to use all Fallout terms while giving no credit. Tonight we have a group of wonderful players here. We're going to start from what is that? My left or right shoulder? I can't tell because the cameras are backwards. But first, I want to hear from Riot. Tell me about yourself, Riot.
Hi, I'm Riot. I use they, them pronouns. I am a former freedom fighter who now is wandering the wasteland to set the world on the better path than what it's currently doing, which is, this.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And who have you brought along with you, Riot?
Susan is capable of steering a horse, so Susan is steering our horse.
Susan is steering their horse. Next up, Tobias. Tell me about yourself and who you brought along.
Yeah, so Tobias Blessinger. I was a city guard at another settlement quite a ways walk away. Unfortunately, Rachel over here got me in trouble. Just one too many pranks, didn't know when to keep it to herself. And next thing you know, we're outcasts looking for a new home. And somehow we ended up with these people. We'll see if it lasts.
All right.
That's up to you if it lasts.
Mhm.
Sophia, you next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sophia Demo. I am a good at prepping an intro. Sorry, y'all. Sophia and Gavin were both orphaned at a young age in a raid. They have a shared interest in mechanics and robotics, and since then have honed their skills in order to run the city's or community's mechanic shop.
Mechanic shop is
Awesome.
important if you want things to function.
Sometimes
Finally,
anything.
I hope so. You'll need it. Finally, JC.
JC Waters is the kind of village animal handler, so to speak. She likes animals, they like her for the most part. She will talk to them as if they're sentient beings. Her brother, Blake, also goes by Bandit, is mute, but is her primary protector and bodyguard slash keeping her out of trouble because she will get herself into trouble, if at all possible. She is overly curious. He is the brawn that protects her from herself and the rest of the world if need be.
Wonderful. So that's who we're playing with. Where we're playing is a little place called the PNW, the Pacific Nuclear Wasteland. Way up nestled in the mountains, lots of some living trees, a lot of dead ones, and in that forest in the mountains near a large unnamed city due to legal or tax purposes, I don't know which. There's a small village populated with a few dozen people, including our 4 players. It's going to be their main goal to keep this village running, bring back whatever they need from the city, and survive. Some people might call that raiding, and raiding tends to have a bad connotation with it in the Fallout universe. So I guess we'll see how these people go about it. Does anybody have any fun things to say before we get started?
It's not raiding, it's procurement.
It's procurement.
Expropriation, I believe, is the term.
Another
It's
way
our
to say it.
survival. we are wanting to survive. The others can, they can deal. They can make more. Um, one more thing about JC dealing with her animal handling, she has managed to make friends with some very interesting creatures, and one of them has followed her around since it was a puppy. Am I allowed to say what it is?
Oh, please.
Yeah. This is a wolfbat cub, a which is essentially a wolf that sounds like a hyena with bat wings. Um, she has raised this little one since it was a cub that she found next to its murdered mother. I say murdered, it was probably self-defense on JC's part, to be fair. Um, but she has raised the little one ever since, and here we are. She's got a tame wolf pup. Tame being relative.
Tame is a relative term for a non-domesticated creature that may or may not be the apex killing machine in this entire region. But that's fine. We'll find out more about wolf bats. Hopefully not too soon for the players.
Yes.
So we are going to come in starting off really thinking about just being sweaty and stinky and dirty. There's just dust all in your socks. Your clothes are falling apart.
Texas 6 months out of the year.
Yes, but damp. Incredibly damp.
My room right
So,
now.
East
Cold,
Texas,
a cold wet damp.
North Texas.
You're still in Northwest Mountains. We keep bringing up Texas. We're not in Texas.
But most of us are from Texas, so we know.
Cancel Texas, the whole thing.
You're
Whole
you're
state.
saying you're saying cold, but what I keep on hearing you say is hot and wishes the AC worked in the room that they are currently doing the episode in.
I
So
will do this in ASMR voice if I have to.
yes.
Cold and
Sorry,
damp.
game.
But surrounded by tall, half petrified trees with half their pine needle leaves still on. Various people moving around, kind of thrown together wooden huts made from some scrap, some cloth and tents, because it's hard to bring a lot of scrap out in the woods. You hear the roaring rush, less roaring because you're about a mile away, of a nearby waterfall that the river you guys use for water runs through. That comes from a melting glacier up at the top of this mountain. What kind of things would you, Riot, be doing bright and early? The sun's just coming up. You know, there's plenty of things to do around here if people want to eat and survive. But what do you turn your focus to when you first get up for the day?
I would probably spend time talking to as many able-bodied people as I could to see about forming some form of militia.
Okay, so you do know, I will give you this bit of background to completely interrupt and derail your train of thought. You do know that there is already a group of people that are doing the rating for you guys. It's not your job right now. I wonder what will happen to them.
That's not exactly what I'm looking into. I'm looking into enabling the people to defend themselves from threats outside the community.
Well, I completely misunderstood. So you're going around making sure people know and are prepared to fight, maybe discussing defensive positions, things like that.
Yeah, embracing what would once be called their Second Amendment right. Yeah.
What would once be, but who needs rights from a piece of paper written by assholes?
Yeah, no, it burnt up. So now it's just everyone for themselves to work together.
Basically. What would you like to roll? That sounds like a persuasion roll,
Yes, I will
but
go
if
with
you,
persuasion.
yeah, go ahead and persuasion.
Move those out of the way. Cool. 2d6. I got 11.
11, that is 2 successes, almost 3. Would you want to use a Benny or reroll that at all?
No, I'm gonna stick with it.
Also, we all start with 3 bennies, right?
Yeah,
Everybody, okay. Classic
but I don't
Savage
want to
Worlds
use one on the
jam.
first roll.
Bennies don't exist till I ask if someone has one. So, that is 2 successes on your first little bit of work this morning. Next up, Tobias. What are you running around doing?
Actually not doing any running around. Tobias and Rachel are both up in probably one of the taller trees that haven't been chopped down yet, where hopefully the guard tower will eventually be built someday. and they're just kind of keeping an eye open, making sure nothing sneaks up on the settlement while the raiding party is out. And Tobias is just kind of sitting there, one leg dangling off the branch they're currently sitting on. And Rachel, you ever thought about what a real bath would be like? I mean, an actual bath, like what you see in those old moldy ads from the magazines with the bubbles and the foam, and you just stick a leg up out, and it's all nice and freshy, clean. None of these damn bugs. Just a real honest to goodness bath.
Tobias,
Yeah.
the only thing I can possibly think about when I think about taking a bath is a migraine because of how much you've talked about it. Then she tosses the stick she was using to poke you in the neck and pretend to be a bug over your shoulder into your lap. Now pay attention. Keep an eye on your sector.
Fine. Fine. Maybe the raiding party will bring back some soap or bubble bath or something. I don't know.
Where would
And
you
it
put
sounds like
bubble
you want
bath?
me to give you a notice roll or
I
something?
do. Give me a notice roll, please.
That's going to be a d6. Oop. Uh-oh. Well, that bodes well. One fell on the ground, the other one is showing a 1.
Big
That's a
yikes.
4.
Okay. A 4 is one success, which is better than a critical failure with 2 ones. So you're keeping
Start the
your
game
eyes
off
out.
falling out of the tree.
You probably like this tree and this location specifically because you can kind of see the trail that the raiding team uses to go into town and back. It's a little more beaten down. It's basically impossible to hide the fact that people live out here. So it's about the best angle you have. You can even see some of the taller buildings downtown way out there as you're facing south towards the city. There's the usual fairly consistent chatter of machine gun fire, pistol fire. Every once in a while, a sharp screech. Every few minutes, maybe. It's definitely hell and chaos down there in the big city, and that might be why you like living out here. But one success though. Good job. Proud of you. Sophia, what are you up to this morning?
So Sophia and Gavin are going around the camp, but we're at a camp, so I imagine we have some sort of something to help move larger equipment pieces, tents, carts, stuff like that.
At this point, with how kind of like you guys have been living here for a while, or the camp has existed for maybe a while, depending on how long you've been here. You know that in total it's been almost maybe a year that people have been living in this area, regardless of when you showed up. They don't have a lot of good equipment. There is essentially a car frame with 3 wheels and a rope that you kind of lean stuff onto and drag around.
Which Gavin and Sophia are definitely playing with right now. They're still trying to figure out the car frame. They're researching a little bit. They're really trying to see how this was supposed to run when it was running, because clearly it only needed 3 wheels. So, we're working on that right now.
Okay, give me a research check. And since Gavin is helping you, Gavin can roll to assist.
Good, because I don't have research. Gavin does, though. So Gavin completely failed to help me, actually. He got a crit
Yikes.
fail on that.
Ooh,
So I'm rolling a d4 -1 and looking to just ace up the wazoo here.
good luck.
Start the crit counter, everyone. That's our first crit fail of the game.
D4
Good
is the
job,
best
Gavin. Proud
die.
of you.
D4 is the best die.
Uh,
D4 is the best die. That's a 10.
Well, despite Gavin consistently telling you that there's no way something with 3 wheels can drive because the wind resistance would cause it to flip up and fly through the air at the speeds that he's read about, you realize that there's just a spot for a 4th wheel. You should probably pick one up and down or ask the Raiders to get it.
We need another wheel. You're right. No, Gavin, you're fixating on the whole third wheel has to work thing. The third wheel doesn't have to work. You need four wheels. Or we could take this wheel and move it to the center, and then we wouldn't have the aerodynamic problems, right?
He turns to look at you and runs into a tree branch that hits him in the face because he's crit failed.
Oh, Gavin.
Good job succeeding. Finally, we are going to move on to JC.
She's doing her morning chores. getting the animals fed and finding what eggs she can, making sure they're edible and not, you know, containing things that shouldn't be eaten just yet. Give them a few years. Um,
Well, give me
milking like maybe 1 or 2 cows.
buttons are hard. One sec. There we go. Give me an animal handling then.
All right. That is her D6. Six plus 6 plus 5 is 17.
17. Okay. Well, that is a lot of successes. So you spend time, you go through the rad chickens first thing in the morning to make sure that you can get those nice thick leathery eggs out before the snakes and the worms sneak in and suck them up.
Mhm.
Here's the word right here. The giant bloodworms come up underneath the ground and suck the eggs down and steal them from you.
As opposed to tiny.
No,
Opposed
giant,
to tiny ones.
giant.
Medium-sized bloodworms.
Think like the size of your leg.
Like a big gulp sized one?
No, like
No, you got a regular gulp, and then you got a bigger gulp, and then you got 2 gulps.
like 5
Super big
gulps,
gulp.
like four big gulps stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
And the entire time, JC is talking to every single creature she meets like it actually understands her.
Oh, they're straight up Cinderella following you around. For some reason, one of the chickens that kind of has a bigger head and looks at you way too like emotionally, brings you a shiny rock and puts it on your boot.
Oh, thank you.
After you
Sweet
collect
egg.
a decent amount of eggs, there's enough for everybody to eat. Like they're producing enough. They have enough stored. You move on to the single horse and the single Brahmin. You make sure they're fed and brushed and all that.
Mhm. Now, is this a cow or is it a bull on the Brahmin?
The Brahmin is a cow Brahmin,
Okay.
so yeah,
Not the best book, but milkable.
not producing milk
Okay.
currently. Still need to find another Brahmin,
Yeah.
but you have it when you need it.
That and Brahmins are actually really good guard cows.
They are incredibly aggressive at random.
Hmm.
So yes, very loud. That's what happens when you have two heads. So what was that? You said you got a 17?
Yes. I have. You're welcome on that math. My brain just went, that's a lot of successes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Numbers.
that is in fact a lot of successes. You've got what, 3, 7, 11. So if we were counting successes for successes, that means that you get. My brain is still stopping. I promise I prepared for this 2 months ago and then didn't.
4.
Four.
Four
Four
This
successes
many.
for successes,
Yeah,
which
four
means
numbers.
all 4 of you get an additional Benny each for the morning going well.
Nice.
But the important question is, did you keep the rock?
Yes, I
Very
kept the
important
rock.
question.
It's tucked into a really out of the way pocket in my jacket so it doesn't fall out. I even
How
made sure there were no
many
holes in it.
precious shiny rocks do you have?
Uh,
Roll 2d6 and add it together.
4
That
currently.
many. That many currently.
That's not a bad amount of precious shiny rocks.
All from the same
You
rad
rock the
chicken.
body rock.
Hmm.
Okay.
They're appreciated, every single one of them.
Well, when there's only 4.
And so at this moment, I'm going to ask our lovely and talented producer to cue the music. Let's start with track 1, whatever that may be. As in the distance, everybody hears this music coming. The music of the completely ungovernable iBot, affectionately known as either Chatbot or Chatterbox. Whatever you guys decided, I forget. So someone tell me.
I think we
Chatterbox.
just Chatterbox.
Chatterbox. Chatterbox starts making their way to you. Is the music playing? I can't hear it.
I also can't.
All right, just wanted to make sure. If it's playing, we're good. So, Chatterbox begins flying their way over the trees to you. Anyway, over the trees to you. And you can kind of tell the speed that they're moving at, the red light on the bottom flashing, something's wrong. They're usually not moving that quick, since, there's usually a group of raiders, your raiders, following underneath. Because for whatever reason, Chatterbox has decided that they've taken a liking to you, your village, and your people, and wants to make sure you get around safe. Chatterbox flies into town, beeping and whirring, still playing music that they just really can't seem to stop playing, and changes at random. And starts doing zipping circles while a few dozen people in town gather around and come see what's going on.
Chatterbox! Oh, darn, are you malfunctioning again? Come over here, you stupid little robot.
Chatterbox is going to fly directly at you. I'd like you to make an agility roll, please. As do it at a +2 because you're probably prepared for this. You know that Chatterbox's kind of distance and visualization sensors are off and unfixable. They slam into everything.
Agility or athletics?
It's an agility because it's a save, for lack of a better term.
Or a not save if you fail.
Yes, it's a fail if you fail.
I was again ready for Chatterbot, because D4 best 16?
Okay. You are used to this. You catch Chatterbox right by the little handles you installed, and it just starts moving around in your hands, shaking your hands around while you're trying to look in their eye and figure out what's going on. The music volume keeps fluctuating with their panic, and yeah, everybody is now very concerned because there are no raiders and only one Chatterbox returned.
Weird. Normally, don't they have like a handler or something instead of running around hitting random things and bringing the wall down again?
Yeah, it doesn't usually like to go around alone. Can someone try and assess it, or Gavin, can you take a look at this thing?
Gavin nods and comes over and looks over. Have Gavin go ahead and make a robotics roll. What is the skill for that you got for him?
It's a knowledge skill, and it's pretty
Yeah,
darn
you
high.
got
I'm sorry, I don't
knowledge
have it up
robotics.
there.
Yeah, go right ahead.
What's the die type on that? I'm sorry, I don't have access to it at the moment.
D6 looks like you got a +2 as well.
Sweet.
Well, while she rolls, Tobias is going to climb down from the tree, but ask Rachel to stay up there and keep her eyes open.
So that's gonna be 7 total.
7 total. Gavin looks at you and says, Chatterbox is fine. There's nothing wrong. They're just panicked. They're just upset.
Where is everyone then?
Chatterbox looks directly at you and then just kind of looks towards the floor, and the music kind of takes doesn't stop. It just takes like a dip, like a sullen dip. Tobias, as you're climbing down, several pine cones pelt you in the head as you make your way over.
Not the time, Rachel. What's up with the floating doohickey thing?
Chatterbox came back alone.
Must have lost our raiders. That's
Our logistics team
The procurement
have laid
specialist.
their lives down for a good cause. But they're the logistics team and not a bunch of criminals. Their friends and family are here.
Well then, Riot, sounds like you're coming with me to go look for them.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Should probably take Bandit here. Unless you need me. I'll use more animals.
Do we have any sort of wagon?
You just have the barely usable 3-wheeled car frame.
Is it barely usable or nearly usable?
You know what? That's a glass half full kind of attitude. It is barely usable. You're not getting it out of this village within the next hour.
Fair.
You can use it because it was literally already here and it's trapped by growth.
Got it.
That would do it.
So if we can find a goat, we can get that out of the underbrush, can't we?
Goat. We have a horse.
Do you really want your horse eating whatever's growing around that, or would you rather have something that can actually digest it?
No, I meant we could just have
Chatterbox
Henry
plays a
literally
foghorn.
yank it out.
And spins in a circle, trying to get everybody's attention back focused on them.
Yes, Chatterbox. Hi, that was my ear.
Chatterbox
Lead on.
bumps into the four of you in turn, since you're the ones interacting with him, and begins leading you out of town before turning and looking at you, and then popping out its little under carapace laser and just kind of charging it a couple of times, as if to signal, make sure you have your weapons.
Gavin, see if you can get the three-legged car running. We're gonna go and try find our companions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would our
So we're-
companions go with us if
you-
they could?
If in special circumstances, I'd say so.
Okay.
In general, they're extras. They're a lot,
Yeah.
meta, more vulnerable than you guys. So
Yeah. So I will probably leave Blake to guard the city or the village.
yeah. Perfect.
It's better.
Same for
shot,
Rachel.
man.
Rachel just salutes at you. You walk, expecting a pine cone to hit, and nothing happens this time. Maybe that's the real prank.
Susan is gonna follow us on Henry. That way, whatever we hit, she can race back and let everyone know.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
We don't want them to get ambushed by a raiding party. That would be a raiding party.
Semantics.
Semantics matter.
I was always told it was called irony.
Irony matters in your bloodstream. Because if you don't have it, you can't process food.
Well, lead on, Floaty Doohickey.
Floated Duke Hickey continues to lead on, and that is going from our beginning homesteading time, where we will, from here on out, be using whatever we acquire in town to upgrade and continue to try to earn betties and various bonuses to the next raid. And into the raid itself, the general area that the raiders were in, everybody kind of knew, is that they had to hit a pretty shallow warehouse in town because I would imagine it would actually be you, Sophie, and Gavin wanted to get solar panels up to begin using more advanced electric equipment, machinery equipment, just power matters, and you've been without power for a year. So they wanted it to town. You knew the location of the solar panels, and we're trying to bring them back, but obviously didn't make it back. So first, I would like to make whoever of you wants to make a survival roll to ensure you're tracking your way through the underbrush, because Chatterbox doesn't care about underbrush.
I have no survival.
I've got a D6 for that. Where do the rest of y'all sit?
D6 as well, so I'll be paying
A D-
attention.
I'm
I'll have to go
fragile.
for it. Why not?
And I got 6.
6'5",
I got a 3 and a 2.
2. Well, we're averaging at 2/3 of a success out of everyone that rolled, so that's fine. You guys don't trip over anything, get
Right,
stuck
sorry.
behind a sheer
Did you
rock
guys
wall.
I had 4.
So,
Still a success. It's fine.
except for JC, who probably does end up tangled in something because she rolled double ones.
Oh, that's double ones. I thought that was a
Yes.
2. I added them
Oh, I'm
together.
like, oh, this is a one. This is a nut.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You stray a little too close to the horse and get bumped into some really nasty, sharp vines. Vines that, if you did some research, you might see had tiny little suckers on them that suck up the blood
Oh.
that you bump into. They might be carnivorous. But yeah, you're going to take 1 point of fatigue for bumps and bruises for that one. Enjoy.
Nature
Alright.
is gross.
Irradiated nature wants to kill you at all times.
Gross.
But you still make your way to the edge of the woods after about an hour of walking. And you see before you, sprawling out, the massive metropolis that you have been relying on for supplies for the last year or however long. Again, you can consistently hear shattering machine gun fire throughout, echoing, not like the whole city's in one firefight, but there's a lot of places, there's a lot of districts.
Ah, home.
Ah, home? That's what you say to this?
Yeah, what? You're not used to this sort of thing now?
This is
No.
why we live out in the middle of nowhere. This is not pleasant on my ears.
A gout of
I wasn't
fire
saying
erupts from
home
one of
was
the
a good
taller high
place. I'm
rises.
just saying this is familiar. Sorry.
I got a what?
A gout of fire erupts from one of the taller high rises as you're looking out.
Nope.
About a minute later, the wind brings the smell of crispy hair.
Yeah, let's find our
But
friends
looking
and let's
down,
get back.
you see where there's kind of a suburban center. Good old suburban living spread out before you a little bit for a few blocks with the warehouse on the other side of it. Should have been a pretty simple job. But if you were to make a notice roll,
Notice time.
I actually have a D6 notice.
Hold on. Is this party wide or is this one person?
everybody do it.
Everybody. Okay.
I
don't
have
wanna
an
step on
extra
toe.
penny. I'm just gonna go ahead and spend that one.
Is that 2 ones, Tobias, or is that 2?
If it's 2 ones, I'll do the popcorn.
Okay,
Fair
I'm
enough.
making fun of myself. 4.
No, I whipped
I
it.
am also going to spend one of my extra penny to reroll that roll because that was not a critical, but it was close. I do not like that.
An 11.
And I'm sure there'll be some popcorn ones and then also a lot of face palming.
That was it.
Wonderful. So
Four,
our
at least.
single succeeders, there were no higher succeeders, so single succeeders.
Did
Um,
Riot got an 11? I thought.
did you get an
No,
11?
no. That was a joke about the
Oh,
single ones. I got
oh.
4.
I say yeah. We both got 4 apparently.
Everybody got enough successes, so it's fine. You all then can point out to each other that there is definitely movement of either monstrous or humanoid kind down in the streets, kind of in the route that the raiders procurement officers would have taken back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the warehouse is right over there. I mean, they couldn't have gone far. Like where?
They had to get past that, whatever that is.
Past what?
Yeah, past what?
The
I'm not
movement.
seeing anything. It looks clear.
Jace will get behind you two and kind of point in the general direction, like just down that
Oh.
direction.
Well,
Anybody got
JC,
binoculars?
that's kind of your specialty, isn't it?
Is it? Can I tell from where we are if it's animal or humanoid,
Um,
or would I have to get closer?
since that's your specialty, I would let you make another notice at a -2 to see if you can catch another glimpse of it.
While that
Yeah.
roll's happening, I'm sending Susan back.
Susan nods and takes off on the horse.
Cool.
Double 4, so that would be 2 total.
All right, you really can't tell. It was just barely the shadow of movement that you caught for a moment. The fact that you all have survived in the wasteland to adulthood means you do know to trust that when you see movement, it was there. But that's all the information you got. You're free to make your way down however you like. It's a slight decline down into the suburban area. Then you're going to be surrounded by cookie cutter houses for about a half mile until you get to the warehouse.
All right. Yeah, she's got her knife in her hand, just in preparation, as they cautiously make their way. Or at least she does. I'm not sure if anybody else is being cautious, but JC definitely is.
Oh, I've got gun
Well-
drawn.
I'm impulsive. It's not like curious, where I would go directly towards the danger.
Which is what JC's also doing because she is curious. She wants to know what this is. She's just
Yeah.
not dumb enough to not have a weapon in her hand before looking.
Sophie will be just behind JC as opposed to striving forward into danger.
Whoa.
Now, if Rachel were here, the two of us would just go charging in full blast because that's just her personality. I'd rather we do a little bit more of a stealthy approach and kind of scout around, see what see what the Hawkeyes can see.
Yeah. Though calling JC a Hawkeye is kind of hilarious.
No, I get it. I get it.
So,
Alright.
do you stealth forth, stride forth, sprint forth, shield surf forth? What would you like?
Sounds
There
like
is a
stealth.
third option.
Let's hear it.
We could literally just bat Chatterbox out there and see if anything flings
No!
out, because Chatterbox can fly up and out of the way.
And it is at this moment that I would like to use my GM ability to interrupt in a meta way and explain to chat what you can do with Chatterbox, because I forgot to. If you look
dear
down
God, help.
at the thingamahoo, where you can pay the monies or the points, or I don't know, your soul, your firstborn child, whatever you like, you can make Chatterbox do things because you all collectively are Chatterbox's crippled and broken AI. So you get to have fun helping or hindering the party however you see fit.
Please
Alright.
help.
I would cue this to be someone in chat giving channel points to Chatterbox to do something. You don't have to, but I'm going to keep going. It's fine.
For now, Sophia is going to hold Chatterbox defensively and say, "You cannot hurt Chatterbox. He's a special piece of equipment."
But will
It's
it
a
really
fully
hurt?
grown piece of equipment.
But all equipment once completed is fully grown. I'll be honest, Chatterbox is not exactly there, so therefore I believe it deserves our defense.
Alright. But JC is definitely going stealthy forward.
Yeah, stealth.
If she actually makes herself
Sounds like
know that
stealth.
Sounds like stealth. Everybody make whoever is the highest is going to lead this roll. One other of you can make an assist. Everybody else does have to roll to see if they crit fail.
I have the D4, so that
No.
ain't me.
No,
I have a D6 in stealth.
I'm the opposite of stealthy. I'm easily noticeable.
But I also have -1 difficulty. Because
What's
of
your
the-
stealth at there, Tobias?
Tobias is also a D4 because he's not always the quietest.
Alright, so I'm behind
But-
JC, so I'm gonna claim that roll then.
I was gonna say I'm down to assist with something other than stealth if I can do an athletics check.
I'm spinning a Benny.
I got a
Yes.
5.
Lead the stealth.
That would be a 4.
So we got a 4 for a success. I
Yeah.
guess the next highest one was a 5, so another point on, so you still succeed. So you all feel pretty confident guiding each other through here since nobody crit failed and fell into a pothole.
Good.
You're making your way through the dilapidated, broken streets. The houses, a lot of the roofs are caved in, the windows are caved in. They were definitely, if you were around back then, they were built very cheap. You weren't, so you don't know that. This is just for everybody's mind's eye. Built very cheap. They probably would have collapsed within a week if nukes hadn't gone off anyway, so no real loss there. But
They were lived in just long enough to, get a couple of the smells.
those capitalists, they're little data people. They really know what they're doing. They're like, you know what? No reason to make the house last this date. I'm not going to tell you why.
You're gonna need a new house anyway.
In obsolescence.
Exactly. If you all wanted to, you could peek inside to see if there's any goodies nobody's found, or you can continue through, making your way past the junked cars, all of which have 4 wheels, inexplicably. There's a couple of
Seems
kind of
so
knocked over,
inefficient.
melted playgrounds.
I mean, well, Tobias is probably in the lead with his shield. JC is the one guiding us on the quietest path, so whatever JC recommends.
Yeah. Was there one particular direction the shadow was heading, or is there a clearer radar path?
It wasn't even really a good notice thing you had. It was just like, corner of my eye, something moved over there. My brain is just going to know that something was over there. Like sheer lizard brain with 1 success. You are
Okay,
welcome.
my dog
I'm
is
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no dog in the background is making noise, so I didn't want to deafen everybody with the real life chaos puppy.
You're supposed to
Um,
leave the wolf fat pup back at home.
and she did, but the real life one is what was making the noise. I'm just gonna glance around. Is there a particular direction that Chatterbox is wanting to float in, or is he just kind of, are they just kind of circling us, being Chatterbox?
Chatterbox is keeping an eye on y'all, but
Mhm.
Chatterbox's only really direction finding is the way to grow.
Okay. In that case, the left path. If there's a split.
The left path if there's a split. Okay, so you kind of just keep it in your mind to flank around the
Mhm.
location to the left where you saw the movement at the very least. You keep moving forward for a few minutes quietly. As you get closer with the several successive notices you've had, you're definitely apparently not talking because you're not talking right now. You're not really looking for any loot around, so your eyes are all focused on danger. You eventually do hear some scuffling and noise, not necessarily talking, not necessarily animal noise up ahead. If you would like to hear more, I will ask for another notice roll.
You got it. You hot goths, I have to know. I'm spending a penny.
10.
I got 3.
3, 10.
I got a 6.
16.
Goth is not with me.
Okay, so our 6 hears what could definitely be just, yep, thank you for the math. I appreciate it. Definitely hear what appears to be human voices talking. That's about all the detail you can make out. My 10 hears that there are 5 or 6 people there, talking quietly to each other, moving around, searching through something. There's scuffling, there's things rolling around. Tobias, you hear that there are exactly 6 people there. That's what it said, right? 6 people there, exactly, 100%. You can hear the kind of like rattling of loose weaponry on them, like a sling, rifle, magazines, loose bullets in pockets. They sound like raiders. They got gruff voices. They're kind of like talking quickly to each other. A lot of gruff language. Yeah, check that fucking one right there. Flip him over. That kind of thing.
So Tobias does the classical like hold up his hand, wait. Got 6 people ahead. Sounds like raiders. Sounds like they're looting our party. You want to just go in now and catch them off guard?
Your call. Your field.
I mean, best
So-
bet is now while they're distracted. Yeah. What's up,
Ahead
Ryan?
of us, where they are, can you describe what that scene looks like to see if we can get
I
any
would love
vantage
to.
point to get the drop on them or snipe them or something?
If you want to get closer to see with your eyeballs, I will ask for another stealth roll. That's going to be each of you individually. From here, you can tell that they're probably on the other side of essentially a double row of houses. They're all fenced with the matching kind of like charred, broken, but tall wooden privacy fence. So you can't see until you get a little closer. If you wanted, you could go into a house or on top of one and try to move that way to get closer. But you'd imagine this side, what you see, again, just rows of cookie cutter houses, half demolished, walls and windows broken out, is going to be the same thing on the other side. Random vehicles around, plenty of cover, plenty of places to sneak, but also plenty of noisy things to step on, like crunched up glass, broken ceramic.
Sophia holds up her very large improvised wrench as her weapon and kind of looks questioningly at everyone.
Well, you're good at building. How good are you at taking apart?
Mechanically, is taking apart still repair?
Yes, it is.
Then I'm very good at that.
How are you
Okay.
at percussive maintenance, though? That's the
My-
question.
My idea is let's look and see what house they're in front of or behind, and then make that house go to them
Oh,
in
take
a
out a
lethal way.
support and see if the support will do the work for us. That could work fairly well, actually.
All right.
I prefer to
Okay.
wield a house as a weapon.
We are first attack roll is going to be with a 2-bedroom townhome. This is wonderful. Okay, so again, to get any closer successfully, there's a lot of noisy things to step on. Stealth rolls for everybody individually. Each one matters.
So,
We-
real
Should
quick,
we all just get a Benny?
Tobias would say
Looks like it.
yes.
Wonderful. Everybody gets
Yeah.
bennies.
I just dropped my Benny in my drink. Sorry.
I have one left.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. Oh,
Thank you
we're
for the
doing
Benny,
voices in our head,
chat.
chat. Thank you to everybody who gave bennies passionately.
Thank you,
Thank
Redeemed,
you,
and thank you,
Lisa.
Ala, for the earlier ones.
Yes. I don't know what I'm doing here. All I do is roll funny dice and tell dumb stories.
Drop houses on people.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
glad I
not
talked
I better
yet.
drop houses on people. Oh, this house
So-
is coming down on someone. There's no way you can
Yes.
this now.
There's the question
But
of
the issue is Tobias has heroic and loyal, and some of our raiding party might still be alive in there. So what he's gonna suggest is yes on the house, but first I'm gonna see if I can go around quietly and get eyes in there and maybe check to see if anyone's alive that we can pull out before you drop a house on our people. And worst case scenario, I'll see if maybe I can lead some of the raiders into a trap or something if you want to prepare one of the other houses.
I like this plan even better. That house over there looks particularly unstable to me.
Let's figure out which house they're in front of, though, because if that's going to be an issue, we got to know where to move.
Mm.
Sounds like we're about to go into I think it's called a quick task. I don't have the page up. But everybody seems to be picking their job already. We're going to have a stealth roll from Riot to go scope out and check out the situation. We're going to have maybe an athletics roll from Tobias, who's going to be leading them down the road into a trap. Give me that
Oh
repair
no,
roll.
I would like to do a taunt roll.
Taunt roll? You got it. Taunt roll. You got it. Hell yeah. Sophie is going to give me a repair roll to get the house ready to fall on command. And what would you like to do, JC?
Possibly look cute and adorable, but in the very enticing way, supporting Tobias in that taunt role. Like, if he can't taunt them, she wants to at least provide a distraction to get the rest. And
Okay, sure.
direction?
I don't know. Give me a freaking persuade roll if you want to do that to assist. Is that fine for you?
that's perfectly fine for me. That's her best skill.
Well, perfect. I guess that makes
So I spent 2 bennies trying to do a little bit better. I'm so close to getting a hit with a raise. That one worked. Okay.
Okay. So
That's
I
a
got
12.
nice. 3 successes.
nice. 3 successes.
2 successes.
2 successes. Damn. Okay, Tobias, what do you got?
I
Numbers.
got 1, but I have a free reroll for taunt, so I'm going to give that a quick reroll. That's a D8 that exploded. 1 second.
Yay!
So that's an 8 plus 2 is a 10.
10. So everybody, one more time down the line. Riot, how many successes? 2 successes. Sophie, how many? 3. How many for
JC has 1.
Tracy? Thank you. 1. And Tobias, several. Everybody succeeded several. This is fine. Everything's fine. So here's how this goes. Riot, you stealthily make your way up, kind of like creeping underneath a broken bit of fence into the next yard. You you very carefully one second.
Yes, exactly like that.
Exactly like that. Whatever the hell that was. Exactly like that. You creak open the door. A raider looks directly at you. You shut it. Nobody says anything. But you do see that the raiders are essentially in the middle of the street on the other side, past the front yard. You only see one non-raider body. There are these 6 raiders I mentioned before. They're all trashed out. They've got, just loose, crappy weaponry, bits of metal armor, kind of more or less riveted or glued or whatever they have to their bodies somewhere, their clothes somewhere. There is an additional body in a bit cleaner gear. It's not your teammate, but it doesn't look like they're with the Raiders, and they look like they've already been stripped completely clean of everything they had. And then finally, you do see Evans, one team member that went on the raiding party. They actually had left the previous night and were supposed to be back sometime midday or however long it took them.
Mhm.
But yeah, they are clearly completely dead. He's laying up against a tree with his classic machete by his side. But you do see that the raiders are all clustered up in a nice little spot, and it would be easy for Tobias to come around the corner, lead them down a certain route you picked out, and you and JC to lead them into the trap. You come around the corner together. Tobias, what do you shout? JC, what do you do to help?
Like I said, I literally look as cute and tasty as possible. If the taunt doesn't get them, her charm will.
As we have seen by the roll. But you both succeed, so this is going to go great. Tobias, what do you holler?
I think Tobias is going to walk around the corner with JC and then like theatrically stop and put an arm out and be like, "Look out! It's a group of pigs!" Or I don't know. I think it's just going to be something that stupid, and just like make very obvious goofy eyes at them, and then slowly turn and theatrically run away down the route.
Yeah.
They
Jason might
look
even
at each other.
throw a kiss in there. Just a
They look at each other and completely fall for it. They all basically just cartoonishly get up, their little Scooby-Doo feet, and then they take off running after you down the road. Hey, get back here! What do you got on you? Don't run, we're not gonna hurt you. Stuff like that. Ignore the accent, there's no reason it was there. Come around the corner, right in front of the most precarious house on the street. Why don't you, Sophie, tell me how you have this little track rigged up for him?
So the way Sophie has it rigged up, Sophie has enough fighting, but she doesn't have a lot of fighting experience. So she's underneath the deck. That still kind of exists, so that she's close to the pylons that are underneath. Now she's already gone and hit the ones towards the far side of the house, so those are pre-weakened, so that when she hits the first one closest to her, the entire house kind of goes like this.
Perfect. Okay, so they come around the corner, you wait for the signal. Tobias, you run right by. JC right after, still looking delicious and vulnerable. And there's a slamming sound. The raiders all skid to a stop right at the perfect drop zone because once again, this has gone completely Scooby-Doo style. And the house begins to teeter towards them and completely collapse flat on top of them. Concrete, rubble going everywhere. They're screaming, crying, "Oh my God, what happened?" Broken bones, splattered heads, all of that stuff. One of them manages to stumble backwards out of the way, but then the grill that was on the deck comes sliding down and just completely crushes him flat. Limbs pop out everywhere. It's a very gruesome sight. You dropped a 2-story house on people.
Right, they were gonna hurt us, right? They were gonna hurt us, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they wore street signs as armor. That means they're murderers.
Okay.
Why did
alright.
you do this to us? We just found it.
Because you were gonna hurt us first.
Too late, Dad. It's your fault.
Well, Sophie, you made quite an impact.
If I've learned anything, it's that your opponents are never in the right, and you always are in the right. So we're totally a-okay.
Right.
Totally kosher.
Because it's about our community, it's about everyone
Yeah.
that we're taking care of. You know, everyone else is the enemy right now.
Means
Yep.
justify the ends.
Do you
100%. We're just the good guys.
We're just
do you
the
need to
good
take a
guys.
moment?
No,
Sophie?
no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I'm fine.
Hey, good. Bring your volume down a couple of decibels before you bring everybody else around. Good job with the
Tobias
engineering.
is going to head back around the corner and see if there's anyone they were looting that might still be in the realms of savable with a healing check.
You're welcome to make a healing roll. It's not looking good.
While that's happening, I'm gonna loot the people under the house.
Give me a looting roll.
You got it.
I am
For
going to
chat's
assist.
benefit. You're going to assist. Perfect. For chat's benefit, looting is now a skill in and of itself. The amount of successes you get is the amount of loot you have on you in your backpack, in your pockets, whatever, that you bring back.
I do not assist. I find a hand.
There are several.
So it cost me a Benny, thank you Allah, but I got a 9 for the heal check.
I'm going to stop you there. You don't need a Benny. Just succeeding at all will make you find
Oh,
out.
no. The success was after the Benny.
Oh. Again, I don't want to do that to you because Evans is absolutely fucking dead. Just gone. Just several rounds through the chest, completely paled out, bleeding, like blood stopped hours ago.
Yep, he's dead.
I'm just going to say with that healing roll, though, you do Dexter the situation a little bit. You can see that Evans managed to take down the other guy in the weird better gear. Still in kind of like raider clothes, but cleaner, not trashed out. No real armor attached, but you can see where like a sweat imprint from an actual plate carrier would have been on. But Evans took his ass down with a machete.
Tobias will take the machete, look at it. I'll keep this for you, Evans. And hook it onto his belt.
You look at the machete where the handle has a keychain attached to it, and at the end of the keychain is a little tag that says on it products and services. And yeah.
Well, that's odd. Weird trinket, but okay. Hangs machete on belt.
Hangs machete on belt. So back to the looting roll of all the raiders. How many successes? I know we didn't get an assist out of JC.
So
Right,
I rolled a d4 and a d6. And when I rolled the d4, I got a 4, so it exploded. But then I rolled it again and I got a 1. So I got a 5 no matter what, based on both dice.
So it's one success.
Complicated, but yes, that is one success. You now have on your person 1 unit of loot.
Right. Yeah, meanwhile, all JC found were like unusable organs and like a floppy hand. Just the hand.
Sophie is just kind of like idly staring at a four-wheeled car, just shaking her head a little bit.
Hey, you know, if you can find a way to use it, hand can hold things. Like for electronic work.
Yeah, but then
I'm
you'd have
not
to
getting
preserve
into
it somehow.
bionics.
Just use it as a chew toy for your wolf pup so he stops chewing on my boots.
Fair.
Boots. We should take their boots.
Anybody else want to make a loot roll? See what they can pick out of the situation?
I'll make one. I have a 6.
I am also a 5.
So that's 7.
1 unit of loot each. No, only 1 success, so pick what you can. Various bits of metal. You can't really tell what loot the raiders had and what loot you're just picking out of a broken house. But all of it is bloody and messy, so it doesn't really make a difference. But you each have 1 unit of loot except for JC.
JC. Unless we count the
Everything's useful.
hand, but that's not exactly useful. It's just a treat.
No, that's a trauma trophy.
The term trauma trophy. That's a good one.
I made it up just now. You're welcome.
Copyright.
So, you still have this other body to look over if you wanted to pick through their pockets. Otherwise, you find Evans, you don't find solar panels, and you don't find the other members of the team.
Oh, what's Chatterbot up to?
Playing slow, sullen version of whatever is playing music while looking over Evans.
Oh, Chatterbot.
What do we do with him? Can't
a shovel.
exactly take him with us. You have a shovel? Do I have a shovel?
Does anyone have a shovel?
I have a hammer.
I got a machete.
I have a crowbar?
Well, if we can find a shovel, we could bury him. But if we can't find a shovel, pile of rocks?
Out of character is we're a bit of efficiency mode right now. We're trying to find anyone who might be a survivor and solar panels. We may want to. Would it make sense to continue forward?
If you're looking for efficiency to try to find any surviving members of the team,
But
I
at-
personally,
for time,
if I wasn't playing a game, I would look for team members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about whether or not Tobias is going to worry about Evans not being buried. I mean, that...
Oh no, he's dead. The
Oh,
others
okay,
might
cool.
still be alive.
Onward then.
I don't have code of honor or anything like that.
So at the mention of Onward, Chatterbox spins up, looks at all of you in turn, kind of does a weird little eyebot nod, and starts flying back in the direction of the woods, kind of leading you towards what you would assume would be the next destination.
Alright.
You make your way there, no stealth was necessary. You get back to kind of the lip of the woods. You see evidence on the way of lots of shooting, but that's not too unusual. However, anyone who wants to can try to get a closer look using a notice roll.
Notice roll time.
I got a 4.
4 is a success.
8 to success.
2 successes.
I'm scared because I'm wasting all my aces here. That's a 13.
3 successes. So, right. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Oh, I got a 10, so that would have been 2 successes on my
2
end as well.
successes. Okay. Everybody can tell pretty clearly that it was, a running firefight situation going on, but that's not too unusual. There's essentially a 50% chance every step of stepping on a shell casing in this down. But a lot of them are way too new. They clearly haven't been sitting in a box for 200 years. They were crafted and pressed recently, which is pretty tough feat to do. You know that having an ammo press yourself would be great, but even if you pressed it yourself in the village, it would still be a little crappy using, re-picked up shells and stuff like that. But these look like they were just cast and crafted within the last year or so, like very new shell casings.
Someone's got an ammo foundry. That doesn't bode well, since they're most likely our neighbors.
And to confirm, they look like they were made brand new or unboxed just now.
Made, crafted, brand new, out of raw materials.
Is there any sort of ammo factory that was supposed to be around here?
Common knowledge.
I would say it doesn't count for me because I'm from out of town. I haven't lived here long enough.
Likewise.
I have a D4.
I've
I
got a
love
D6.
D4s.
So.
I love D6s. I love all dice.
The
They're all
best
great.
die.
For D20, stay out.
That's
Get out of here, D20.
No one likes
Only
you.
for fear rolls.
Yeah, that's why no one likes the D20, because it's the scary die.
Either your hair's turning gray or you're getting a heart attack. Those are your options. So we had a 6, and JC?
Not a success, even on a reroll.
Yeah, a 6, you would know that it's possible. There is a pretty decent industrial area, basically on the opposite corner of where y'all's village is at, on the other side, just outside of town, as well as what you think is some kind of like pre-war military base. If you were to make a triangle out of yourself in the industrial area, is the third point of that triangle on the very east of town. Industrial area southwest of town, military base southeast.
I mean, it's very possible. That's why we were looking for solar panels once we got to this area. We have the industrial section and the military section over there.
The moment you get military section, though, you can get, like, very zealous people with guns.
Well,
Very zealous
isn't
people
that
with
all of
guns that
us?
like to shoot them.
Who would like to shoot first and never ask a question.
And no, Sophie, I prefer not to use a gun. Thank you.
I mean, I pack just in case I need it. I pull out my peacemaker. But, you know, better not to have to fire it.
I mean, I don't have one either, but I've never learned how to shoot. But I mean, these could have been produced around here. I don't know where people are getting the raw materials to do that at this volume where we are now. But the equipment may be around and may exist.
So, as you trail off of this discussion, you continue on to the woods, Chatterbox leading the way. You get to the mouth of the woods in a different area where the raiders, and you now, didn't use before. The brush is pretty thick here, but if you were to make some survival rolls, you can probably track your way through it. Whoever wants to give me a survival roll.
I
Got it.
shall.
I will attempt to assist, I guess.
Not
What is an
me.
assist roll in Savage World again?
I will also assist.
You also roll the skill. Your successes equal a bonus that goes towards whoever is doing it. Up to 2
Corey?
people can assist, and the bonus can be up to 4 total.
I give you a +1.
All right, and I've got a single success, so plus whatever the additional gives me. It's a 4.
Plus none, I'm too freaked out.
So you're
Well.
looking at a 5.
Looking at a 5, that is a total of 1 success. You can see where multiple people breached into the woods at a run. It's pretty clear. You know that out of the last raider party, there should be 3 people left alive since you only found that 1 body. So hopefully there's still 3 alive. But you can see that multiple people did breach through here and continue making their way into the woods. It's not a big deal to continue tracking for a while until eventually you get to what appears to be some kind of animal leaned over a humanoid carcass, leaning against a tree, a few hundred yards in.
When you say an animal leaning over, do you mean the animal is alive eating, or like they killed the animal and it fell on them and killed them?
Give me a notice roll.
An important question.
So I got
Super
a single
didn't
success with a 4.
Oh, we were all doing it? Oh,
Well,
If you
I'm
wanted
just
to.
asking, yeah.
okay.
Or I'm looking. Mainly
sure.
because animal. JC's like, ooh.
Sweet.
I'm gonna let y'all do
Super notice. I got an 11.
Nice.
Great. That 11 is going to help you notice right at one moment. You do notice that the animal is hunched over, and you can tell that it's alive. You can tell that it's doing something. The 11 will definitely give you more details. Like you can see that it's kind of amphibian looking. It's got kind of like big frog legs. The entire animal is probably about the size of like a. It's. I can't think of size right now. About the size of a motorcycle. Y'all know what a motorcycle is, so probably about a motorcycle-sized frog. That, as Tobias takes several steps forward, going, "Is that thing alive?" You hear a, and it kind of hops around the corner, going forward, facing all of you. And it does not look happy to be interrupted with its scavenging. So we are now going to go into a combat.
All right.
Just because Amir Nugget said it and I have to repeat. So sorry to disturb you. Carry on.
That is wonderful, and I love it, and I adore it, and thank you very much.
I love it too.
I guess it
Give
should
me a
be
moment to set this up.
carrion, not carry on.
Carrying my wayward sin.
Beat me to it. Beat me to it.
There'll be peace when you are my din.
Oh no, it was Gene Sasquatch that said it. By the way.
Oh, sorry. That was Gene Squatch, not Amir Nugget. My apologies, Squatch.
I love.
Okay, I will now be drawing cards from my very advanced card dealing device called Roll20. So, Riot, you get an Ace of Hearts. Tobias gets the King of Spades.
Nice.
Sophia gets the King of Diamonds. JC gets the Eight of Hearts.
I'll take it.
And the Frog gets the Jack of Hearts. So that looks like it's going to be Riot and then Diamonds. Riot, Sophia, Tobias, Frog, JC.
All right, I would like to. So, drawing a weapon would be the action of the round, right?
I think I would say like drawing and stowing would be an action, but just
Okay.
drawing can just be part of your attack. Like, it's
Okay.
fine.
Then I want to draw my Peacemaker, and I want to take a shot aiming for this part of the frog, the part that goes.
The froggy, bubbly neck thing.
Yeah, I want to mess it up.
Okay, at that size, it's about human torso size, I'd say. So you're going to be at a little smaller than human torso size. So at a -2 to hit that particular part for the +2 damage that would come alongside it.
Okay. Here we go. Uh, 2 plus 5 is 17, right?
2 plus what?
2 plus 5 is 7, right?
Yes, 2 plus 5 is 7.
17.
17 to hit.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a success with a raise. Go ahead and give me damage. You got the extra d6 for your raise and the extra +2 for the target.
Okay, so I'm 2d6 plus 1 by default and another d6?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do 6s explode this time?
Yes, damage dice do explode.
Cool. Okay. Hold on. 6, that would be... Need math help. Okay, so that's a 12 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. So that's 10. 23.
23 damage. I'm going to go ahead and make a vigor roll for the large frog.
Myrtleize
Okay.
that frog.
Bad, just a little bit.
How many successes was that? 20? You said 28?
23 points?
23 points of damage?
23,
25?
because it's the plus 1 on the
That's
damage of the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Crud. I'm going to use a Benny on that one.
Okay.
What's the toughness for this frog thing?
The number? Oh crap, I completely forgot to calculate toughness. Okay, yeah. The toughness is 8, so that's math.
15.
15, which is 3 successes. And I just got a 9 on my little roly roll, so that is 2 successes. So it is now simply shaken.
Cool.
The round rips forward, and you see it rip past its gullet, right past some kind of large, almost prehensile spined barbs that it has hanging like 2 bits of goatee underneath its chin. And it does a big hop kind of away from the shot. It almost goes spiraling to try to get away from it, but it doesn't look like it's having a fight yet.
Cool.
It's my turn, isn't it?
It is.
All right, Sophie kind of jumps at the sight of the giant frog and starts shuffling around in her overalls. She's going to do some weird science. She's going to pull out a device, hurl it at the frog, and I'm attempting to use Entangle on the frog.
Attempt.
That's 6 aced. So that gets me to an 8.
An 8 is a success with a raise. What does that what does that mean for
So
your spell?
I did not keep my handy dandy cards with me, but I believe that it entangles and binds, which means they're distracted and vulnerable. I can run and grab it if you want me to double check.
I'm waiting for it to load for me. Give me one moment.
So you're putting a bow on it? Is what you're saying?
I'm putting a big net.
Big net with a bow on top.
Gift wrapping it.
Scrolling
Merry
to the
Christmas.
side.
The gift is pain.
No, just containment.
Allows the caster to restrain a target with ice, bands of energy, or a net. If successful, the target is entangled with a raise. They are bound. Page 98 is the bound and entangled rules. Entangled can't move and is distracted. Bound means can't move, is distracted and vulnerable, and can only try to break free. So the net bursts out of your awesome weird science device with a puff of radioactive dust, because everything is radiation in Fallout series, if this was the Fallout series. It circles the large frog, wraps it up nice and neat. It kind of flops around. You see it trying to use its massive, strong tongue to punch out and just bloop, bloop. So that is Sophia. Next up, Tobias. The frog is entangled. It is vulnerable and distracted.
Touch it.
Well, since it's vulnerable and distracted and entangled, I'm going to do a multi-action here. The first one is going to be a taunt roll, saying, "Time to make some ribbit giblets!" And, like I said, going to taunt it. The second one is going to be just a regular fighting roll. So, first up is the taunt, which the D8 and the D6 both exploded.
That's wonderful news, because that line needed it.
I would turn the camera to show you guys if I didn't think it'd mess with the layout, but I am currently up to 19 on that taunt test.
Yay.
Sorry, no, 21 on the taunt test since it is distracted. Or sorry, since it's vulnerable. So 21 minus 2, 19 total for the taunt.
Okay, let's look up what taunt does, because I know that one thing you can do is shake a creature, but it is already shaken. You can choose to make it distracted or vulnerable, right? What else can you do?
You can choose to make it distracted or vulnerable, but Tobias has the provoke edge. If I succeed with a raise on a taunt, the target has to focus on Tobias until either the next Joker is drawn. If it tries to go after anyone that's not Tobias, it's at a -2.
Wonderful. Luckily for you, it is entangled up in this net, so it also has to break out first. But you know confidently that this frog did not like that line at all. Super frustrating.
Doesn't like the ribbit giblet?
Not at all. Not at all. Their mother was turned into giblets. They find it very offensive.
Well, my second roll made up for it. I rolled a 1 and a 2, so I'm going to spend a Benny to re-roll that fighting attack.
Which, for the record, you do have an extra Benny, so it kind of evens out because Redeemed PJ gave you another Benny for the ribbit giblet line.
Hooray!
Thank you, Je ne sais Squatch.
Is that going to be the quote for the patch?
Yes.
Is that going to be the patch I add?
Ribbit giblets.
Ribbit giblets.
I will
Ribbit
spend that.
Okay.
I will spend that new Benny I just got because again I rolled a 2 and a 2.
You got this.
There
You're
we
not-
go.
You're not going to flub after that line. It's not going to happen.
That is a 10 total for the attack roll.
10 total for the attack roll is a hit. They are vulnerable, so much easier to hit. That would be with a raise as well, so enjoy your extra d6 damage.
So Tobias shouts, "Ribbit giblets, time to make some." As he runs forward, he has his ballistic shield up in one arm, and Tobias's weapon of choice is bang sticks. If you don't know what bang sticks are, they are shark deterrents, which are basically a long metal pole with a shotgun shell attached to one end, and you poke it, shotgun shell goes boom. So he's got his shield out, he's got the bang stick out, and he's just going to run up and just jab it at the frog. That's going to be 46. I'm at 9. Another 6 exploded. That is 15. 16 total for damage.
16 total. He's already shaken. So I don't know if it's worth it trying to soak that. You come up, hollering something about ribbit giblets. You pin it down with your riot shield. Its tongue is ineffectually battering against you, and you just shove the bang stick right into that nice little spot back here where you know amphibians and reptiles' brains are located, and it just straight down into its own necky thing. That does have a hole in it, so some leaks out. It is very incredibly and extremely dead, and combat is over.
Tobias looks down at the gore he's now covered in, and, well, crap, you think this will wash out?
No, I hope so.
I'm sorry, JC. I was hoping just to get it bound up so you could maybe like talk to it or something. Apparently, Tobias took some initiative on that.
Oh, was that the plan? Well, shit, you need to tell me that. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Yeah,
fine.
we
You're fine.
assumed it was tied up to die.
I mean, we can still make frog leg stew out of it, so.
Also, don't worry too much about it. Soap is made from human parts.
Wait, what?
What?
You can make soap out of fat.
Oh,
But why human fat? That smells nasty.
But not bubble bath,
smell?
right? Bubble bath isn't human, right?
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never had a bubble bath.
Tobias just looks rocked by this information and just kind of walks away from the frog thing.
I do have a question. Have I seen this sort of creature before, or is this one a new one to me too?
It would be common knowledge for you. So go ahead
Because
and
she
do
is
that.
definitely poking at it, trying to see what she can take from it to, if she has time enough to wrap it up to salvage for meat later.
For the deli?
For the deli or project stew. Be one heck of a gumbo.
You can choose your hire of survival or looting to wrap it up, but common knowledge for what it is.
That's a 4 on common knowledge. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my survival for the butchery, which is a 4 as well.
Could you make a frog broth out of the leftover bits?
Make a broth out of
Probably.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well enough.
You're familiar with this. You've seen them hopping around before. They it's tough to feed them, so they basically scavenge meat where they can, out in the woods from whatever just happens to die out here, whatever's left behind by a swarm of wolf bats. Because there's not a lot of large insect life that can sustain them. This is a giant barbed frog.
Okay.
It is definitely dangerous to people because it pulls you in, and the barbs wrap around whatever limb you've got and just shred whatever meat off they can.
Definitely not something she would have tried to make friends with necessarily. She'd still talk to it, but she wouldn't try to actively. She's not done.
Yeah.
She's just-
Amphibians and empathy don't go together, really.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. They're just not built for it.
No.
Tobias comes back from his deliberations about whether or not taking a bubble bath is worth soaking himself in human, and he's reloading his bang stick with a new shotgun shell. And have we found out who's underneath the frog thing yet?
Oh, yeah, I probably should move him, shouldn't I? If JC's strong enough. I don't know how heavy this thing is. She's going
It
to
kind of
shove him
hopped
off.
away. When
Okay.
it was attacked, it hopped away and around so it could properly fight.
Okay.
So you don't have to move anything off the body. But you do see and recognize the body as Lichtman, another woman on the raid. She's been chewed on a decent amount. One leg is almost gone. if you were to dig through her pockets, you would find an old dog collar on it, where the dog collar's kind of tag says Anderson. Looks like she's had it for a long time, like decades. But again, no solar panels, no other loot. A combat knife by her side, just kind of laying in the dirt.
Does it have the other half of the best friend's tags dangling from the hilt?
It does not. No, it does not.
I say leave the dog collar with her, let them rest in peace together, and we're still 2 unaccounted for. Let's find them.
Kind of, yeah.
He doesn't have any dog tags of her own.
No, no dog tags.
Okay. I am going to take the knife.
Lipton's knife.
Just in case.
It doesn't hurt to have multiple knives, as long as you can carry them.
I didn't have one. I had a spear.
Oh no.
Spear is like a long knife.
Yeah, but it's a long knife, and sometimes you need a not long knife.
Well, now you have a
Sometimes
short spear, so it's fine.
Yep. Short spear.
So at this point, Chatterbox again, sullenly playing sad, sullen style, whatever music is playing over Lipton's body for a moment, before spinning around in a circle, looking into the trees a bit, and then taking off in the next direction.
All right.
How tall and sturdy are these trees? If we got to the top, could we like look ahead?
They're very tall. They are partially petrified in spots, so they do have a lot of like very firm, hardened, jagged edges. So it is kind of dangerous unless you really need to climb a tree. You're welcome to. I won't stop you. The only thing that can stop you is gravity.
But if we got to the top and got a good look, it would help.
You're welcome to climb. I'm staying on the ground.
Alright, will someone at least catch me if I fall?
JC is all of 5'2". She can catch you. That would be impressive.
Sophie holds up her giant wrench again.
Alright.
It's a good idea, but no, I'm not catching you.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it. Do
I have a
it.
D8 in athletics. Let's give it a
Yeah,
shot.
you do.
Before
Go
you
for it.
climb, do you
Got
want
this.
some rope to secure yourself?
Yes, please.
Yeah. JC passes over a hank of like 40-foot rope. What does she have? Yeah, she has 40 yards of nylon rope on her.
Alright, well, first of all, do I need to make a survivor roll for the knot, or am I good just to...
It's
Just
fine.
go.
It's rope
Cool.
is rope is rope. It's fine.
Make yourself a little centaur harness.
Okay, hold on. I gotta make a note to myself. Got an 8. Not done yet. Got a 14.
A 14 is good. That is definitely enough to successfully climb up a few dozen feet, however high you want to go. It gets kind of thinner at the top, so you go safely up to where you can kind of peek your head over enough of the canopy to see ahead. You see the direction Chatterbox started to head. They're not leaving without you, but the distance they went isn't too far. You can see them. You can see kind of, I'd say maybe a half a mile in that direction. There is what appears to be the faintest image of like a shack, like the roof of a shack poking out from some lower overgrown trees. So maybe they went there, maybe they ended up there. That's the direction Chatterbox is going.
Does it look professionally constructed, or like post-apocalypse constructed?
Give me a notice roll.
Okay.
Hey, Riot, what are you seeing up there?
4.
She sees 4. You can tell that it was definitely built pre-apocalypse.
Okay.
It's very old, run down. Doesn't look like it was thrown together from recent scrap and put together new. The materials and the construction are old.
Okay. I'll go down and let them know. There's a shack of some kind dead ahead that looks pre-boom.
All right.
Well, sounds like if anyone survived, it'd be a good place for him to hole up. Let's head that way.
Yeah.
You begin to make your merry way. How stealthy are y'all feeling?
Uh, JC's gonna be stealthy as much as she can.
I'm
Okay.
going to be as stealthy as prepared with the gun and ready to fire at whatever I see.
All right, so give me one leader, give me a stealth roll, and we'll see how that goes.
Was JC the one with the best stealth? I do have
Because
a
I want
question.
everyone to look at me.
I fix things.
You would think the guard would have a good stealth roll too.
I was
They
a
want
city
to see
guard.
things.
You realize city guards, all they do is just walk around in circles or stand there? That's not a very
Alright.
stealthy job.
Taking away that -1 from my fatigue, I rolled a 10. So, because I rolled an 11 on the die.
So, very easy way to lead them stealthily. You're confident, you're pointing out things for people to trip on. More of those mean, evil, nasty, sharp vines that suck your blood.
Mhm.
And after a while, it takes a bit to kind of pick your way there, maybe another hour or so. You've been out for a while, and the sun is definitely heading towards the evening time as winter has been approaching the last several weeks.
Mhm.
So it is getting dark soon, and knowing that, the back of your neck kind of prickles, knowing what comes out at night. But you are very close to the shed, and you do kind of do mental math and know that you could make it back to the village in time with some luck and some skill, even after hitting the shack. But you stealth your way up there. Chatterbox leading the way, still playing music, still drawing attention of like birds and squirrels that are running around and making horrible irradiated croaking sounds. Um, you're pretty quiet, so you don't hear your own footsteps too much, even though they do always feel way too loud out in the echoing woods as you crunch on like the very soft bed of pines and needles and stuff like that. In the distance, you hear the natural massive cracking of whatever larger creatures run around out there. Rad bears, rad moose, stuff like that. But like I said, after about an hour, you get to this shack, this hovel. It looks like it was definitely put together by someone who did not have an eye for building codes, but it was also definitely pre-war. And as you begin to scope it out and see it, we are going to take a little break here for about 10
Okay.
minutes. And when we come back, we will explore the shack and see whatever happened to the remaining two raiders.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed their private time. It's important to really take some time and meditate and sometimes use the bathroom and drink water. But last we left off, we were approaching the creepy old shack in the woods, which is always a good idea. We had just finished killing a giant barbed red frog, giant barbed frog. I don't know what I name things. I make them all up on the spot half the time. But here we are at the shack. It is a big two-story shack. From this side, you can see that some of the land was cleared around it. You can see what's what I'm trying to think of. The windows are all just wooden shutters. There's really no glass involved. You're looking at the back of it. From your current angle, you cannot see the front. What would you all like to do?
About 20 yards out, I'd like to circle to the front, staying within the tree line, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure. I'm assuming you're doing this in a stealthy manner. Go ahead and roll that for me.
All right. I take them a d6. Uh, 9. So 2 successes.
2 successes are a good amount of successes. You very carefully creep along. Is everybody else coming along for this particular ride?
Sophie will go.
Everybody going? Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna hold back.
You'll hold back, keep an eye on the back side of it. Cool.
Yeah,
So-
'cause I could make it worse.
Perfect. Good thinking. So the three of you creep along the side, and you see that the front of it is quite a different story than the back, where the back looks kind of calm and quiet and creepy. The front just kind of looks like a murder scene. Blood all over the trees. You actually see one leg, a human leg, removed from the rest of its body and stuck up in the crook of a tree. Other than that, no other body parts, no blood. Well, lots of blood. No other body parts, no people, no animals.
I don't suppose I recognize the boot.
Make
Or
a
is-
notice roll. At a -2. It's pretty tough to recognize people by boots.
So was this the frog thing?
I don't know if the boot's been chewed on by a wolf bat pup. It may have obvious teeth marks.
11 minus 3 is 8, so that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Murder shack.
It is recognizable. It is Justin's boot.
Well, found Justin. Recognize that particular bite mark on the sole. That's
The blood splatterings do lead inside, and the door is partway open.
So is the rest of him in,
probably in the shack. And knowing our luck, there's probably a bear in there.
do we have to go in there? I mean, we're here looking for solar panels and evidence of dead people, and that's evidence as far as I've ever seen it.
Well, I'd like to make sure that our remaining one isn't among the other body parts in the shack that are possible.
Here, I got this. And Tobias will kind of lean towards the shack and quietly go, "Ka-ka! Ka-ka!"
I come
And
running.
see if he gets any reaction.
You do. From inside, you hear a little scratching, a little scrambling, something getting knocked over, and a very quiet. And then the door kind of bumps shut, almost like something bumped into it. Like a very,
Tobias will look back
very
and be like,
weird, kind of like inhuman giggling laughter sound.
Do I catch that as I run up to them?
Yes, you do.
so Tobias will look over at JC and go, "That was not the cacaw. It sounded like wolf bats to me."
Yeah, that definitely sounded like wolf bats to me.
I agree. That sounds like wolf bats to me. Click, load, click.
Have they learned how to close doors?
If they accidentally bumped into it.
Okay, everybody knows how to close a door. You stub into it.
Right, well, I didn't hear anyone calling for help. That sounds to me like Jenkins, did you say it was? Jeffrey? Jeremiah?
Justin.
Justin, yep. Chatterbot, doohickey thing, and anyone else we need to go looking for?
Chatterbox rotates towards you and then rotates towards the front door, and once again pops out. It's relatively puny, can barely scratch the surface of your skin, but still the only weapon they have, laser, and points it at the door.
No, Chatterbox, come on, man.
I mean, JC's. Is there a window near the door? Like an open one that she can see through?
All the windows are essentially just super boarded up shutters. Even the wooden shutters themselves have been nailed across. You can try to peek through with a notice roll, try to find any gaps. The construction isn't great.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a gap. I mean,
Doohickey, I was
curiosity.
worried you would say that.
But, you know what? I'm gonna attempt a reroll. It's not a critical, but
Chatterbox
No, it's
rotates a
better,
bit,
that's
and one of
right.
its side fins kind of pats you gently on the shoulder as if to comfort you, Tobias.
that is a 10 after my fatigue, so that's 2 successes on that notice roll.
2 successes are great. You creep around the side of the house. You're making a little bit of noise, but not any more than you already have been cawing at a house. You find a nice little break in the slat where you can actually see some light beams are coming through slats on the other side from the sun that is, again, setting. And you do see the movement of 2 large wolf-sized creatures inside. As you're kind of looking, you hear the very quiet laughter. Silence for a moment, and then one massive yellow eye peers back at you through the gap, and
Yes. I know I'm very funny looking. I am 100% convinced I've been spotted. Is there another human in there with you? Just taking a head count.
you're asking them?
Yes, I'm asking them. That's her quirk. She talks to
Yep.
creatures like they can understand
Make
her.
make a persuasion roll at a -2.
In addition to other minuses?
That's the one. Yep. That's the sad popcorn.
Sad popcorn.
Sad popcorn is also good.
So, so many crit fails. So many crit fails. I feel like I haven't punished you all enough for crit fails, so I'm going to let you go with this one because I've already punished you. I might just punish Tobias. Just,
I mean, that
just
was
because.
a terrible, whatever call it was. Were you going for crow or something?
Hyena-esque?
Tobias. All right. Anyway, so I'm assuming that I'm
Yeah.
going to be scrambling back from the now lunging.
Oh yeah,
that
that was very scary. That was very
Yeah.
very scary.
Like nope.
So I hate to
I-
say
I-
it.
Terry
Would
scary.
that be a fear roll for the crit fail?
probably.
I was already thinking that, but I don't want to give you credit, so maybe I'll just do it in a minute.
Fair. Very
Or
fair.
we need to set up a suggestion box?
Maybe I already thought of that. Yeah, suggestion box would be good. But
Okay.
maybe I already thought of fear rules with wolf bats. Maybe you didn't give me that idea at all.
All right.
All right, Sophie, I'm gonna bust that door open. Shield up. I want you to throw one of your web bombs in there. Maybe you'll entangle down the wolf bats. I can poke my head in, look around real fast for other humans, and if not, we just shut the door and book it.
There's more than one in there, right?
There are 2 of them.
Does
I
it
might
not
have
hit
to
in
think
like
of
a radius or something, or is it just one person?
I think I have something else that I can hold on, I'm sorry. Sophie's preoccupied patting down her overalls for something.
Not the time, Sophie. Right? You got
it,
anything?
got it. holds device in hand.
Bias just stares at it. He doesn't know what to think of said device.
What
What device is this?
What does
Uh,
it look like?
a collection of scrap metal and pieces and parts and bits and bobs and buttons, of course.
Is that a
um,
scatter grenade?
Well, it can cause scattering. It's intended to go into a enclosed area, create a very large noise, and then throw things far away from where this is. It uses havoc. It's the havoc power.
So how does it do when it tries to throw things far away if there's a wall in the way? And will it hurt any humans in there when it throws them?
I mean, it will throw them, and the walls don't look incredibly sturdy.
Are we
So I'm
assuming
gonna bust the
everyone in there
door
is dead?
open.
Wait. Before we bust it open, are we assuming everyone in there is dead?
There's a lot of blood, y'all.
Cool. Yeah. No, this sounds fine.
Yeah, I'm just. Where in relation to the rest of the party is JC at this point? By the way, because
There's
JC
a
prepped
body in the way before you.
Y'all are wherever you want to be. There's about 20 feet of open terrain around the house in a circle. Front door is in a front door spot. The whole
So it's
thing being a
reasonable
wood.
to say that JC would have scrambled back to the party
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
in her terrified
wherever you
state.
want
Like,
to be.
oh, okay, yeah, no.
Absolutely.
All right, JC, you know these creatures better than us. Would they take live prey into their den to save for later, or are they more scavengers that would bring in the dead stuff to chew on later?
They're an apex predator, so they do both. Yes.
Not helpful. All right, so I'm gonna bust the door open. Sophie, you throw your grenade in. Riot, you shoot stuff, and JC, you talk to him.
She holds up her knife like, if they come after me, self-defense, man.
Well,
I
don't like
ideally,
it,
if we're
hey.
gonna do that, we should be on either side of the front door that you're gonna kick open, because then they're gonna come out that way.
To be fair, I'm surprised they didn't come after me through the wall. So, hey, yeah, sure, if the door works.
I mean, do they come out during the day? I thought they came out at night.
It's almost night.
almost night.
Let's force them out.
Sure, let's do this. Why not?
What's everyone's positioning?
Hiding behind Tobias.
I also behind Tobias, I've got a machine to throw.
So, Aaron, the reason I asked about area of effect is because if I remember right, the entangle power, you can actually use more points to make it hit in a bigger area.
Oh, it can.
Okay.
I know what I want,
Riot?
Ted.
Don't question the havoc spell.
I am
Don't
going to
question the chaos
slam
gremlin.
Go ahead,
my
Riot.
spear with a flag attached to it, like a walk away from the stairs. That way there's something for them to focus on, and then I'm gonna run to the side of the house, like the side of the stairs.
Tell me what's at the end of your flag. What flag is the flag?
I haven't finished making it yet because it involves boiling a chemical and dipping polyester into it, but it's gonna be purple tie-dye.
Purple tie-dye flag. I love it. Purple tie-dye flag fluttering in the cool breeze as the icy wind comes down from the top of the mountain, bringing all that nice cold dampness and life-giving water. You all prepare yourself. Riot, the first thing I would like you to do is to give me a notice roll.
So gonna notice everything. I need to say that more often.
Are you noticing all the things?
8.
And it is a good notice roll. As you get in position on one side of the door, the wolf bats inside have gone quiet. Unless they've been listening to you the whole time. Very quiet snickering from one of them. You can clearly tell that they have also taken up positions on either side of this door.
I know you can hear us, but all we want to do is make sure we account for our fourth person. That's all.
Silence.
Yeah, kind of figured. Quiet, mother. Uh,
Well,
it is.
Tobias, waiting on you, man.
All right. Let's do this. Tobias is gonna. Does the door open in or? Oh no, they had to shut it earlier, so it opens in. Tobias is gonna kick the door open. Shields up.
Give me a... No, it's fine. It's a very weak door. You put your boot right into the thing and it flies open. And just inside are the slavering jaws, the bright yellow eyes, the pointed back tufted bat ears of two wolf bats. Full-sized, bloody maws, blood down their front. Their front legs are bat wings with massive razor sharp, like friggin' velociraptor claws at the end. Their back legs are even more beefed up than most wolves you see running around because, as JC said, these are the apex predators. They eat well. Nothing stops them when they want to eat something. And they were ready for you, so everybody will be drawn for initiative evenly. I will say the one thing on hold would be this Havoc spell, actually. So you're going to start on hold, Sophia.
Okay,
So time to draw a card. Go ahead.
so I can go whenever?
You will have to make an agility roll to interrupt if they draw higher than you, basically.
Okay, sounds good.
So you're going to get a card. If it's a high enough card, it doesn't matter. You can just say I'm going now anytime before them. But if they draw higher than you, you got to make an agility roll.
Awesome, done.
So I will be drawing for initiative now. First up, we have Riot, who is getting Jack of Spades. Next is 5 of Diamonds for Tobias. Next up is Sophia with the Queen of Hearts. Again, you'll be on hold, but that's still plenty high. Then JC is getting the Ace of Diamonds. Who shuffled this? I'll tell you who. It was the Roll20 computer that shuffled this. And finally, the Bats. Ace of Clubs. That is all the high cards basically in the last two things, so it's fine.
Well, I was gonna spend a penny to redraw, but I don't think I can beat the Ace of Clubs.
No, you
so
cannot.
I will stick with my 5.
You cannot. So sadly, in order to interrupt their move, Sophia, you see that they're ready, and you're going to have to make an agility roll to interrupt them.
I'm at least gonna give it a shot. Let's see if I could fail this. Eight.
An 8, I think it's opposed. I'll go ahead and roll for their agility really quick.
Good luck.
Yep, 3. You go first. You see them basically like right about to come out, but you had already cocked your arm back to throw, so you get the spell off in time.
Then she's just gonna throw it. Let me roll this. Alright, so it succeeds to go off, not with a raise. So, sorry guys, but what Havoc does is blow everyone back within a medium burst template.
I will say that you said you just got a success?
Yes.
How far up that success did you get? What did you roll specifically?
I got a 5.
A 5? Okay. Doesn't really make a difference. The only person would really affect is Tobias, because throwing it into the room in order to not basically go up a set of stairs in the middle of the shack, you're going to have to throw it close enough that Tobias is going to have to roll against it.
Then, Tobias, if you don't succeed, you are hurled and distracted.
It's an agility check, right?
I believe so, yes.
So JC, because she's not in front of the door, she was cowering behind Tobias. She doesn't have to make this roll herself? Okay.
You might have to make a save against Tobias, but we'll see how that goes.
So what do I need? I got a 5. Do I need to spend a penny to reroll that?
A tie stays the same, so you're fine. You do resist the spell. The power, the cool technology device, but your hair goes The shield kind of slams in your face a little bit, but you're okay. You're fine. It's all fine.
Sophia looks very pleased.
Now they also have to roll, so I'm going to roll their agility.
Next time I'll have the cards on hand so I can actually know all of this just off the top of my head. But
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the power really quick myself. It's the Havoc power, HAV. That's a D. That's an E.
Say, Aaron,
Havoc.
I see the suede core box right behind your head there.
yeah, Ted, but our power cards are in my game bag.
Called out. Havoc. This ability creates chaos and mischief, as we have seen. It's an area effect attack. Everyone touched by the template is distracted first. So Tobias, regardless, you are distracted. If they
That
fail,
means I would not have succeeded then.
you want to roll again?
Does this count as being shaken
Yes.
for a Benny?
What do you mean?
Well, I know bennies can be used to recover from being shaken. Does recovering from being distracted count?
No, nothing
No?
I'm saying.
Okay.
No.
Well, there you go. There's a drawback.
Sad popcorn. Sad popcorn.
Sad popcorn.
Put it up there. Sad popcorn counter.
I'm sorry,
Oh no.
Chalk one up. Okay. So,
That's crit fail number 5 for this stream.
I'm
I'm
proud of
actually
all,
shocked I
proud of
haven't
all of
gotten
you.
there yet. Don't worry,
Damn
I'm
it,
getting
Chaos
the worst
Goblin.
karma from this.
Give me 30 seconds to think through some consequences. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to resolve the wolf bats. They're going to, they're both going to reroll because they failed. So that's 2 bennies. Nine for one, 5 for the other. So they succeed now. Yeah, use my bennies properly. The only fail here is Tobias. But they're still distracted. So actually the 5 fails because -2. So 1 succeeded, 1 failed. We're all caught up. Tobias, you are going to fly backwards and slam into, I think the first person behind you would in fact be Sophia.
Jason.
It's me. Yep.
It's JC?
Oh, okay.
No,
What
it's
did
definitely
Sophia threw the
Sophia.
thing.
Okay.
Because she was behind Tobias in order to throw the thing. So she would have been closest.
Or we were like one on each side, like just side by side, cowering behind a shield.
If you guys want to be side by side, you can be side by side. That's fine too.
That would work.
Okay, so
So, who would you like to roll the impact damage?
Put it on me. It's my fault.
okay, that's fair. So you're both going to take from this particular event 2d4 points of damage and fall prone. I'm going to say all 3 of you are going to fall prone because it's a crit fail.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 of you are now prone in that spot that you were kind of sharing, scattered about. Basically, it's a Sophia sandwich with a riot shield at the top.
Well, at least we have the shield on top.
At least you have the shield on
Yeah.
top. You go ahead and roll me 2d4, Tobias. And Sophia, you roll 2d4 for your impact damage. That's what you're both going to be taking.
So I ended up with 4. My parry's a 5. So I.
It's against your toughness, not your
Oh,
parry.
against toughness. My toughness is also 5, 7 with the flak jacket.
Yeah, so you don't take like take a wound or anything, but you almost did. That sucked. The wind is knocked out of all 3 of you. And that is going to lead to the first wolf bat's turn, who is ready to go. Because the second one flew against a wall and also took 2d4 damage. Thank you very much for reminding me.
Sorry.
5 damage doesn't
beat
beat
I wanted to play
toughness,
with my
so
new
it's
toys.
fine.
I mean, this just makes for an entertaining fight.
Okay, so 2 distracted wolf bats are now taking their turn. They're going to dash out of the door, laughing maniacally, and both come in directly at Tobias's flopping exposed legs. So they're both going to make targeted attacks with these massive, oversized, razor-sharp jaws. So the first attack is against the target of Tobias's right leg. So it's going to be at a -2.
-4 with distracted. Thank goodness.
That is a 3 to hit. You manage to kick its distracted and dizzy muzzle away with your right leg while it's laughing. The second one goes for the same attack. Another 3. You barely manage to keep your leg meat attached to the bone as those things are biting and chomping at you, trying to get at whatever meaty bits they can get. That was the wolf bats. So next up is the ace of diamonds, being JC.
All right. I still have the frog legs on me and the hand.
Yeah.
The hand is the easier one to throw at the moment because I'm currently in a tangle of limbs. I'm gonna throw the hand with a like, hey, here, have a treat. Just go, fetch, go long.
I'm going to call this an animal handling test.
I love
Alright.
So
this.
go ahead and roll it for me.
That is that is a 3 minus my fatigue, so I'm going to spend 1 more penny to try and roll that. Saving my last one just in case I desperately need it to not die. That's better. That's a 4. That is a success.
Okay, that's going to go against, I believe animal handling is smarts. Against their smarts, they're not super
Yes.
smart. That is a 1. They failed. So one of them sees the hand fly through the air, and you know that all predatory animals still go for the easy kill. So you see it has definitely been, it's already distracted, so you want to make it vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of them is now distracted and vulnerable, so y'all get your +2 to hit until its next turn. That would be Tobias's right leg assailant. That was the ace of diamonds. Sorry, go ahead. It's your turn.
Oh no, I was also gonna see if I could throw it far enough. I'd also like to get it off of us, and us, so we can like not have to fight both of them to try and stand up.
With the one success, again it being a test, the one success lets you
Okay.
choose distracted or vulnerable. Another one would be shaken. If you wanted, you probably could trade a shaken for it moving away, but you got the one success, so
Okay.
it's vulnerable for a second. You caught its attention.
I will take that at least.
Good. So next up is the Queen of Hearts at Sophia.
Already went.
You did already go. That's right. Thank you very much.
I've
Jack
already
of
caused
Spades.
enough problems.
Yes, you did. A lot of problems. Jack of Spades at Riot.
Hey, I am standing there with a weird expression on my face. Because basically, I just watched a bunch of grown people fly into a pile and get attacked by a big giant hybrid beast. I'm gonna shoot at the not distracted one.
They're both distracted. Only one is vulnerable.
Ah, okay. Then I'll shoot at the vulnerable one.
You see its head turn away, tracking the hand that JC inexplicably threw through the air, saying, "Go get it! Go get it!"
Is the butt exposed?
You have a clear shot of the whole thing, so yeah, you can shoot it right in the ass.
Okay. How much is it to aim for a spot like that?
I would say the butt size would be like a -2 to hit for a +2 to damage, just for targeting.
Okay.
Get that booty.
Let's give it a shot. I'm spending a Betty.
You take
That
aim
was
right
an
at the
awful
thick
roll.
haunch of leg meat that you know drives its kind of charge and bite propel attack style.
I got a 8 to hit.
An 8 is a hit. That is a success with a raise because you're trying to beat that 4. So, yeah, we go ahead and roll your damage with your extra raise d6.
Okay. So that is 2d6 plus a d6, then plus 1. 20 damage.
20 damage. Good gods. I'm going to go ahead and try and soak that.
Okay. It's probably a good idea.
At Midas's.
JC, there's a ghost behind you.
No, I tried once. I'm not trying anymore. That was a failure. All 20 damage. Your cult peacemaker barks once. Barking beats laughter in K9s. Apparently, that's how the math works. And one leg completely just flies off, spraying blood. The wolf bat collapses onto its side and as it tries to kind of crawl away, but the sudden blood loss is too much and it passes out, twitching. Is that the
That's
end?
one down.
That is one down. Last up, is that the end of your turn, right? Just verify.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Tobias.
That's good enough.
Tobias, it's you.
I mean, since it's distracted and Tobias is distracted, let's do a dual distracted taunt bonus of, what are you laughing at, ugly?
Roll it.
That is a 1 with my distraction bonus, so I'm going to use my free reroll. There we go. That's an explodey 8. I should keep these other 8s on hand. 12 minus 2 is a 10.
A 10. Okay, that's an opposed to smarts, right?
Get it right in those vulnerable feelings.
0. You succeed.
I
It is
will
now-
make it vulnerable then and provoke it to focus on only me.
It is very focused on you. It kind of looks at, Huh? It continues trying to struggle
Ugly.
with your leg. Row.
That
Right.
hurts even though I don't understand it.
Rory, what?
And that will end our first round of combat. So we're going to redraw. Well done surviving, everybody.
Yeah.
So, again, Riot, you're getting an 8 of clubs. Tobias gets the 10 of spades. Sophia gets the 7 of clubs. 5 of spades goes to JC, and the last bat gets a jack of diamonds. Would anybody like to redraw? Because the distracted and vulnerable are about to go away on this wolf bat.
Does that... What do we have to do to redraw?
Use a Benny. You trade a Benny, you get another card.
You got it.
So you are? Yes?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so your redraw is a 7 of diamonds. It is worse than your current card.
Okay.
Sorry about it.
That's all right.
But you're one card closer to a Joker?
Yeah.
You know what? Sure. I'll go for that Joker. I'll spend a penny.
Do it. 9 of hearts. Better, but not good enough.
Pull another card out of the way. That's some card advantage.
Actually, your 10 of spades is better. Counting is hard. Anyway. First up is the wolf bat, who is no longer distracted or vulnerable because their turn has come back around, but they are very focused on that meaty calf of Tobias's. It smells like barbecue sauce, probably because of a prank pulled on you the night prior.
I'm sure it smells like barbecue sauce and ribbit giblet sauce.
Ribbit giblet sauce. It's got mango
Yummy.
in it, some jalapeno.
That don't sound bad.
Disappointment.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
So it is going to again attack that exposed leg at the -2. I'm going to re-roll that attack because that is not high enough. What is your parry, by the way?
So with the shield, it is an 8.
With the shield is an 8. Okay. I would say the shield is torso size, and you're going to be having trouble bringing it to bear in your current position. Would you say that's fair?
Sounds fair. Then you're looking for a 5.
Looking for a 5. That is a 5. That is a hit. So it is now going to do its bite damage. You're going to feel its teeth start to really claw into or tear into that leg of yours.
All right. It is toughness 9. Armor is 4 points.
Do you have armor on your legs? Okay.
I've got Kevlar jeans, Kevlar jacket, and a Kevlar helmet. Oh, Kevlar vest. Not.
Head to toe in Kevlar. You got Kevlar chaps.
Technically, the only thing not covered is my arms, which
I
are
know,
covered
I
by
like
the shield.
Kevlar jeans.
Forget
That
the
is-
restricted logo.
Yes, that is 9 points of damage. You said your toughness is a total of 9? I believe that shakes you. I forget how ties work for damage. So yeah, you will be shaken. You feel it bite in, down, and through the Kevlar a bit and scratch up your calf and your shin, and that sends you into a mild panic because you know that the next thing it does is tear off your leg and run off with it.
Currently, it's
Nope.
on, right?
Currently on. Currently
Okay.
bit down on and tearing at, yes. It is found its purchase.
Not the leg, take the boot! Not the leg, take the boot!
Next
That's
up,
why boots are important.
boots are very important.
You can lose a boot.
They can help you identify your body parts if they're put up in trees. Next up is the 10 of spades, which goes to Tobias.
I'm gonna do the stupid and try to go for a called shot to the head. The reason it's a stupid is because it's a -4 and I'm rolling a d6.
Oh no.
I believe in you.
I believe in
You
you.
couldn't
I believe-
possibly reel back and poke one of your buddies in the eye that you're laying on.
Oh no.
I saw the one
Okay.
come up first and the other is a 6, so I'm gonna explode that
Ooh.
6. That is a 7. -4 is a 3, which is not enough. I'm gonna spend a Benny to reroll.
Okay.
I have to get another explosion. 6 plus 3 is a 9, -2 is a 7. What's its parry?
Its parry is a 7. You nail it right in the head. Roll your damage +4.
Alright, so that's a boomstick to the head for 9, 11, 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Do I use my last Benny? Yeah, I want to bite you. I'm going to use my last Benny to soak that. I personally want to bite you. I'm living vicariously through this wolf bat.
Oh, fuck. I just realized I'm shaken. 1 second. I need to
Uh-oh.
roll to unshake. That's a 4, so yeah, I would have unshaken.
Everything's fine. Ignore
Okay.
it.
Though, since I forgot to do that, would you prefer that I spend a Benny to just automatically unsoak or unshake?
No, it's totally fine. It mathematically worked out. You're good. I do not soak the shotgun shell to the face, though. So...
Yeah, I just realized my foot is in the jaws. I know.
How much damage did you do?
15. I assume it's gonna be more of like pressing it up against the bottom of the neck where it connects like the skull to the spinal column and try to get the head off that way.
Is that what you assumed? Is it? Here's what we're gonna do.
Forehead.
We all know what shooting through cover rules that they exist in this. So
Mhm.
its toughness is a 9, I think I said. What was your damage total?
15.
15, so that is 6 points of damage left over. What is your toughness again? With
My
armor,
toughness.
it's a 9, right?
My toughness is a 9, but since it's Kevlar, it has bullet protection, which means any damage from bullets is a -4 damage.
So yeah, you press your bang stick to the neck, to the head, wherever. You feel the boomstick go off in your hand with a loud crack, and its head just turns into paste and eyeballs, just disappears, leaving the teeth themselves embedded in. You actually, almost in slow motion in your brain, feel the pellets rattling around in the skull. No matter where you put it, they would have bounced around in there and impact your Kevlar pants and threaten to break through and cause damage. It stings. It's like being stung by bees. But you literally feel a single pellet bounce into one of the holes the teeth left and roll down, and it's hot and uncomfortable, and it's in your boot. But
Sitting at the boot! Ah!
And combat is over. Move freely.
Well, that went better than expected.
Tobias is gonna jump up and dance around on one leg, trying to take the boot off to get the hot bird shot out or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, my plan was perfect. I don't know what's wrong with the rest of you.
We all lived, and Tobias seems perfectly fine. So I'm gonna call this a success. I'm gonna just write that down in my journal.
I am going to go. You two deal with whatever it is you were doing. I'm going to go see what's in the shack now. Yeah. Jason will kind of wiggle out of the pile and wander into the shack at this point. Still prepared, because where there are two of them, there may be more, but at the moment, she feels pretty safe.
Yeah,
She's
you can
gonna check the shack out.
Go ahead and make a notice roll for me if you're feeling safe, you're feeling confident. Like you don't have anything to worry about.
Oh, she's got plenty to worry about. She's just... There were only two assailants for the moment. That is 4. So that's a single success, hopefully.
Yeah. Yep, single success. You don't hear any other movement in the house. You do see a blood trail leading up the stairs. It looks like a human would have left it.
All right. I'm going to follow it. I'm going to poke my head out and say, like, leads upstairs. Do a full face and walk back in. And proceed cautiously up the stairs. Knife out.
Make your way up the stairs, knife out, like the movie. Anybody else following? What are the rest of y'all doing?
Yeah, I'll follow.
You
I'm
have
not on the ground shaking my feet.
I think we're arguing over the logistics of the apparatus I just used, so I'm gonna hang out downstairs.
Tobias is hanging out outside, loudly cussing and plucking the teeth and bits out of his pants.
They're very sharp teeth. They kind of cut your fingers here and there, like little paper cuts. They're razor sharp. It is
Son of a...
absolute lunacy.
I don't know why you're so mad. You're alive, aren't you?
Yeah, no thanks to you. Worst invention ever.
Thanks to me. Just because you got caught up in the crossfire, I can't help that. You were the one that decided you need to kick down the door.
Chatterbox joins in the argument.
Assume this goes on.
At random volume levels, trying to just be part of the fight.
Chatterbot.
You two head upstairs, you said?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
You pass by the remarkably clean and clear floors of the inside of the building until you realize that just all the junk furniture is piled up in the corners now. There is, in fact, a splattering of blood all over the place, as if there were more meat bits around that just flew everywhere against the walls, the ceiling, all that stuff. But you make your way upstairs. The stairs are very creaky. They're kind of threatening to snap and break on you. But you get up there, and at the very top of the stairs, you see a tripwire. It is not hidden at all. It is just there. It's like a thick, like scavenged piece of string, basically. And following it up and around, you see where there is a couple of tin cans tied to it, so that if anything were to hit the tripwire, the tin cans would rattle.
You know what? She's curious. She's also... She has a sense of humor. She's gonna play Jingle Bells. Does the Jingle Bell rhythm on the tripwire.
Feels slightly more festive in there.
But no response? Alright, well,
No response.
She's gonna continue on, then. Stepping over the tripwire to not get entangled with it.
Might as well keep some alert up ahead.
At the top of the stairs, there are two doors, one to the left, one to the right, and ahead of you is another boarded up window with blood on the sill, blood heading to the left door.
Follow the blood.
You make your way to a closed door. Blood on the handle, blood along the side of it, blood along the door jamb. large splattering drag marks right in front of it, like as if there was a massive blood loss at this point.
I'm actually gonna head to the other door. That way we can open both at the same time. Cover
Yeah.
both angles.
The other
Alright.
door is kind of like cracked open a little bit. It's not completely closed.
So JC will do the 3, 2, 1 enter head count. She's not gonna vocalize, but she would hope that you understand hand signals for that.
When I see the 0, I kick open the door the rest of the way and point the gun in.
And JC kind of shoulder knife first.
Okay. Riot, you first see that it's another dusty, messed up bedroom. You see a couple of blood splatters here and there, as if someone who was still bleeding, but not incredibly heavily, was kind of fumbling around in here. But whatever they found, they took with them and are gone. The other door, JC, you open it up, and the first thing that you notice is the smell. It's 2 bodies locked in a room. You see them next. You see Justin missing the leg. You also see the last member of the raid crew, Dare, they called themselves. It's kind of like leaned up together against the wall. One with a double-barreled shotgun. Justin with a double-barreled shotgun over his knees, popped open with a couple of empty shell casings around, and Dare with an old pistol in their hand. And next to them is their bag of loot, including, you see attached the large solar panels that you can fold out and use. What they died for.
Yep. Alright.
Putting together this scene, you can kind of tell that they fought their way through the house, tried to survive and make it against the wolf bats hold up in here. There are probably more because the swarms are usually bigger than just 2. But they had just taken too many wounds and bled out up there, especially with Justin's leg being torn off, probably at the doorway.
Yeah.
The night prior.
Alright. So I'm gonna give a salute, grab the bag, and make my way back downstairs. We gotta go.
I will grab the guns.
Okay, double-barreled shotgun and a 9mm pistol. I believe there's a Glock in the player's handbook and the Suede book, so just use that. But all members of the team have been accounted for. You've picked up what you can, and the sun is just now cresting down over the horizon. And you hear the distance from the city, wherever they happen to be nesting, the distant chatter and laughter of the wolf bats as they head out to hunt for the night.
We gotta move fast.
You probably barely, at a run, if you do well, will make it before any wolf bats find you. But one thing you do know is that between their literal, wolf senses of smell and their bat senses of hearing, if you're out at night without protection, before the sun rises, they will find you. So now this is going to be a dramatic task. I'm going to need, it's going to be a 3-round dramatic task, and I'm going to need 15 successes to make it before you are attacked by wolf bats.
Alright. What skills are we rolling?
Pick whatever you like. You're running through the trees. You might have to use survival if you want to. Notice to look for things. Yeah, athletics is good. Survival's good. Notice is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna use survival because I have a +1 to survival that negates the fatigue. So
There you go. And if animal handling might work if you want to think about good places to make sure you're in cover from wolf bats while you're moving, those kind of things. So I'm going to go
Grab the flag before running.
Okay. I believe first I draw for this dramatic task. This will be our little last event of the night, so feel free to burn all your bennies. But first, Riot, you are getting a Queen of Diamonds. Tobias gets 9 of Diamonds. Sophia gets Red Joker. Congratulations on that.
yay!
And then to finish this draw, JC is getting the King of Clubs. Now that is a club, which is a potential issue in a dramatic task.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an instant fail this time if you fail on this roll, but you will be at a -2 for whatever you're rolling due to just circumstance. So enjoy all the penalties I've been piling on you this entire game. It's not going to get any better.
No.
But
So-
I do like the Benny thing, so everybody does get a Benny for the Joker,
All right.
which
I'll
you
take
can
that.
use to return if you want.
All right.
So, I believe Joker, you want to go first?
Yep, we'll get Sophie out of the way. Right now, I'm just looking at athletics just to run fast.
Go right ahead. Roll me athletics.
It's a 4. I have like 5 bennies right now. Should I try it one more time? Alright, try it one more time.
Dump 'em.
Yeah, you can only keep 3 of them.
That one was an 8.
That's 2 successes. We have 2 successes down. Next up is the King of Clubs, JC. Remember, you got that -2. Sorry to say it.
Hey, at least it's better than a -3.
I mean, technically it's a -3 with your fatigue.
I have a +1 from my survival knife to survival. So, that's a 2. I'm gonna reroll that. That is a worse roll, so it's not a critical failure, but it's not a success, so I got nothing for this round.
Nothing for this round, so we are at 2 successes still. Next up is the Queen of Diamonds, Riot. What are you rolling for me?
I'm rolling athletics to mad dash it. Yeah, I'm gonna use a Benny. I got a 7, but I really want to have something explode, so give me better than 7. Ah, I got worse. Another Benny.
Chat,
Use them all
if
up.
you want any more channel points you can use to help these people out, you can give out
I
bennies
know.
to the players to keep doing more rerolls.
Kick it.
Chatterbox can make another party of enemies show up and get into a firefight. Also, if that
Yes.
floats your boat.
7.
7 is your highest one. That is 1 success. We're at 3 out of 15.
We're a fifth of the way there.
Yes, we are. I believe. Who was next? I just got rid of the cards. Who was next? Was it you? Go right ahead.
Look,
Say
JC,
less.
I know you want to add another wolf pup to your collection, but you got to keep running on. Come on, keep it going, and I'm gonna roll taunt.
I'm trying.
Roll talk.
You're talking.
That's a 2 and a 1, but I get my free reroll. Oh, motherfucker.
Is it?
Do we have a 6th kernel?
Can you spend any? Or are we stuck?
Suede rules is crit fails, you can't reroll.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah. No. We did have find something useful in the supply drop.
Oh, we did something useful. Supply drop. Okay,
Gonna drop right on Tobias's head.
it just might.
Tobias is gonna trip and fall into a pit filled with useful shit.
How? You've never rolled like this. In the entire time we played together, Ted.
I told you, I've been
Entertainment
acing
value.
way too much tonight. It had to come.
Can I make a suggestion for the something useful?
Go right ahead, please.
We need something that makes a lot of light so that nothing wants to come near us, right? Because they hate light.
They do know that light means a lot of people are around, so they know that hunting doesn't go well with bright lights.
Okay. So what if we had... So I know that there's the flares you can fire, but aren't there flares you can hold?
There are.
Are we gonna Jurassic Park this?
That's what I want to do. I want to Jurassic Park the heck out of this.
Okay, as you're running, Chatterbox does the thing they do sometimes. Instant 90-degree left turn, takes off into the woods, and within 10 seconds comes back its little laser cannon hooked on a bag that says U.S. Army flares on it, and it just dumps at your feet, and you all get a moment to pick one up.
I'm taking it.
And
Definitely.
if you're cool with it, I think what's going to happen is Tobias is turned, looking at JC, being like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." Doesn't notice and just slips on a flare and twists his ankle for a point of fatigue or something.
Yes, you will take a bumps and bruises for me. You're taunting, you don't want your footing, and you end up on your ass, and that riot shield smacks you in the teeth, which you've happened plenty of times. You still don't have a mouth guard for some reason. But yes, bumps and bruises, point of fatigue.
All right.
But with these very useful, thank you very much, chat flares, that Chatterbox decided to bring you, the rest of the rolls for this are going to be at a +2 because you have a little extra light and a little extra thought in your head, knowing that even if the wolf bats do show up, they're going to stay at bay for a while because these flares literally stay on them. They last for an hour.
All right. Don't suppose I can turn my flashlight on to
You can.
add to the light. Yeah, no, she's
You
gonna.
can. It adds to the light. If it was only the flashlight, wouldn't scare off wolf bats. But with the flares, it does make you feel a little better.
Yeah. All right, that works for me.
Okay, that was Tobias. Am I missing anybody? Did everybody go for the first round?
I think
Jason.
that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah,
Great,
JC.
cool.
Yeah.
Right, so round 2 out of 3. You're at 3 successes. Those flares are going to give you +2 to whatever you roll for the remainder of this event. So, Riot, your card is 5 of spades. Tobias, 2 of spades. Sophia, 8 of spades. Give me the spade, please. JC, 4 of hearts, no spades.
I'll take it.
Also, no clubs.
Especially no clubs. So we are at 8 of spades. Sophia, what are you doing first? You have +2 due to helpful flares.
So I think after seeing Tobias take the tumble, Sophia's gonna pull ahead and use notice to point out, like, pulling ground, branch, rock over there, things not to trip over while we're running from the bat.
Go right ahead. Sounds like he needs it.
I can do better. I'm gonna try one more. I can do better. I'm gonna try one more.
You can do the thing.
Add the 2.
I have been.
Oh no.
Okay, that was a 6. So that's an 11 said and done.
An 11 said and done. That is 2 successes. My math, 12 is 3. So that's 2 more successes. Well done. Tobias successfully does not trip on another bag of flares or anything else for the next several seconds.
Yet.
Yet. Not till Tobias' turn.
Yeah.
Next up is the 5 of spades at Riot.
All right, let's give it a shot. I am still mad dashing, but now I'm doing the da 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 with the flares. I got a 3. I'm not helpful.
Oh no.
Well,
Sorry.
wait, you got a 3 before flare bonus? Or after?
I got a 5. I got a 5.
Okay, it's either you got a 5 or a crit fail, so I'm
I'll
glad you got the
take
5.
5.
That is another success. We are at 6 out of, I think I said 15.
Yeah. It's a 9 left.
We can do
Nine
this, right?
rounds. Or 2 rounds. 2.5, 1.5.
1.5 rounds. Let's see what you got.
All right.
Next up is the 4 of hearts at JC.
All right. Survival, because I am hacking away at these vines, just to make sure I don't trip. And I'm ignoring the taunty one, Tobias. Your taunts don't work on me.
I'm glad that your knife has a thing in the stock, which helps.
6, 8, 10. So 2 successes.
2 successes. I like it. Successfully cutting through loose brush, making sure everybody has a nice, even, steady route to go through. Finally, Sophia. Wait, Tobias. Thank you.
So
No.
I'm gonna take the penalty for using the same skill multiple times in a row. And Tobias is going to be hobbling along with his flare. Oh, great job, Tobias! Just trip over the flare from the stupid flying doohickey, Tobias! You get your leg bit off, Tobias, and he's just going to be taunting himself to try to encourage himself to keep on going.
All right, I'm going to need your taunt roll, then I'm going to need your smarts roll to defend from it. That's a joke
All
on
right.
the smarts roll, it's fine.
With the -3 +2 -1, that is an 8. I have 2 bennies, but I also have the free reroll, so I'm gonna try the free reroll. Hope I don't get another crit failure, which I did not, but that still works. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 8.
2 more successes.
All right.
And that... Go ahead.
And we do have a Benny for the table currently.
Benny
Just
for the
whoever needs
table.
Thank
Okay.
you for the
Whoever- yep.
Benny.
Whoever needs it.
Thank you, Neon.
I have none.
Neo.
Take that
Oh,
Benny.
you're.
Thank you,
then-
Neo.
Then it's
Of course.
yours. Because I do
Yeah.
still have a spare Benny. I have 1 left.
That's the
I
two-
had 2, and then I had none, and now I have 1.
All right, so that is another round. That's the second round done, correct? Did I miss anybody? Perfect. Final round. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Did I math that right? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know.
I thought we had an odd. It's fine. You need 5
Out
more.
of character, I took calculus. I don't know math without a calculator.
Corey, you got 2 successes last round,
I got 2 successes last round.
and I got 2. We were at 9, so yeah, 5
I got
left.
you.
5 left. Yes, perfect. Here we go. Riot gets a Jack of Spades. Tobias gets a King of Spades. Sophia gets a 9 of Diamonds. JC gets an Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace Ace fart.
Out of the leftover Ace of Spades. Again, survival check.
Go for it.
Because, yeah, no. I've crashed through these woods often enough. That is a 6. It's a single success. Anybody feeling lucky with their rolls? Or should I roll that one?
How much did you get?
A single success.
It's the last round of the last encounter of the last event of the last night of
We've got to have at
the
least
last
5.
event.
Are we still getting the
Yeah.
+2 from the flares?
That
Yeah.
was with a +2.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and spin the Benny. I get them back at the beginning of next session. Hopefully. That's worse. That's only a 5. Still a single success.
Single success, getting you closer. 4 left. Who's going to step up?
Guys, I've been doing really well. Step up.
The answer is
I'm
Tobias.
Trying.
Time to step up, Tobias. Step up into
So-
another and hurt your leg.
Oh god, don't even jinx me. So Tobias he's hobbling along, cursing himself. He's at the back, and I think I'm going to use fighting because one of the wolf bats is going to catch up to us, and he's going to try to whack it with his shield to knock it off, and maybe try to give it a little bit of the wobbly roller skate feet so it doesn't stay on the trail.
That perfect. Sounds good.
That's a 4 + 2 is a 6. That's a single, but I still have 2 bennies, so I'm going to burn 1. That's a 7. Gonna burn the last.
Come on, Tobias.
That is a 1 and a 6.
6.
That is 2 6s. That is 14, 16.
4
As you're-
successes.
Well done. Very proud of you.
Nice.
As
Oh, it's not showing. Sorry, guys.
I
It's fine.
saw Pips. It's fine. I trust you. As y'all are running through this particular stretch, each of these rounds is probably taken maybe 10 minutes total. You do hear hey, 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 ha, 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 as they're kind of circling in and coming in. They're not running behind you, they're flying. They're gliding way over the trees. Their laughter, is kind of they use as their echolocation. And you hear the of one of their bat wings on the breeze diving in at you like they like to do. They like to dive in, slam into you, knock you down, rip a piece off of you, and fly away. Is kind of their hunting tactic. And as one is flying down towards Tobias, you're smack things with your shield and protect yourself, and others' instincts kick in. You turn and you just whack the absolute hell out of it, sending it careening to the ground, to the dirt. It flops a couple times and kind of turns, has to dart away through the woods to find somewhere safe enough to run up and fly away again. But them seeing one of their buddies get walloped like that chases the rest off, and you what, how many successes you freaking get?
So
Four.
that's 6,
Four?
12.
That was enough to finish it, right? That's all you needed was
No.
four. No?
You
Because I had
16, right?
14, 16, but I have a -1 for the bumps and bruises, so I have a 15. We are one success
Oh,
shy.
we're one success
Okay,
shy.
that's
So
Gotcha.
chases them off. They're still circling, but you are very close. You are within a few minutes of getting home. That would be next up is now Riot.
I'm gonna try and dash the rest of the way so that we can get spotlights or whatever we got on us as we're running up. Get us the rest of the way. I'm spending a penny. No, I'm not spending a penny. It's 4. Plus 2 is 6.
4
There's
plus
your
2 is 6.
That's enough.
It's enough. Yeah.
Riot continues running. Just, follow me this way, or whatever you may or may not say. You dash through a copse of trees and end up in the bright spotlights just up ahead of the village that you all live and work in and now have fought for. You make it there with your backpacks full of loot. I believe there was 3 units of loot, plus the 4th that you managed to just recover by default from the previous raiders, including the solar panels you needed, that you'll begin installing at your earliest convenience. You're exhausted, you're beaten, you're bloody, but you are not broken, you are not wounded. You are all still on your feet, as shaky as they are.
Mhm.
You continue making your way into the village, past the large human head-sized blue glowing mushrooms, the thing that was one of the main reasons your village can stay where it is, that through a bit of study you have learned actually take radiation out of the dirt and transfer it into light and heat to make sure that the crops you grow in the ground here, the potatoes, tomatoes, everything else, continue to thrive regardless of the harsh environment. And
Yeah.
you're home safe.
Boy,
And that is-
Rachel, found a lovely vacation spot for you.
Meanwhile, you found a vacation spot. I'm heading to bed. I'm exhausted.
Hey, Susan knows how to treat wounds if you need help.
I very much appreciate that.
It
You too,
gathered, we got
Tobias.
the panels. No
Oh, yeah.
one else made it back. They're all gone.
the people of the village are sullen, but they understand. The people that will have more names and faces next session. But yeah, everybody, that's the life in the wasteland. That's life when you're constantly at a war for survival. And as we know from our favorite post-apocalyptic series, war never changes.
I don't know.
Anything anyone else would like to do for the evening?
Healing rolls to help.
Do you guys have wounds? I didn't think you had any wounds.
No.
You can make
We're-
healing rolls for fun to pick at your injuries, but
That's fine.
Just a bunch of bumps and bruises between Tobias and JC, I think.
bumps and
Nap
bruises.
So we're good.
time.
So I think Tobias is going to offer to throw an arm around JC and be like, I've been told that soaking your feet is a great way to help a twisted ankle. Have you heard of a bubble bath before?
Tobias, I'm not building you a damn tub.
No.
But just think of the challenge.
It's not a
And-
challenge. It's a bucket with a spigot.
Glad he
And
got
with
over
that-
the soap being human bits.
Yes, soap is literally human bits. That's what you said. But with
Yes. That's
That-
soap, not bubble baths.
No, no,
Okay.
bubble bath is that weird toad frog spit.
Sorry.
it's okay. This is all worth saying. I'm glad I stopped. But without apology to the GM, that is what we're going to call our session for the night. I hope everybody had fun surviving
I
in
did.
the Pacific nuclear wasteland. And we will have more fun games, ankle breaking, and wolf bats next week. Same time, same place.
Of course. Night,
See
y'all.
you next time.
Bye.
You better make some preparations. There's no time for hesitation.